It's time for you to sound off, for you to speak your mind. This show is for the faithful.
Touchdown! Touchdown!
Dub Nation.
Bang! Steph Curry again!
And the seam heads that bleed orange and black.
Good man!
This is SportsPhone KNBR. Sponsored by Industrial Metal Supply on the Sports Leader. Check the live stream on YouTube at KNBR 1045.
Duran throws. Swing, and the ground ball is short. Is Turner over to first. And the Phillies have won the first game of this series. And the misery continues for the Giants, their fourth loss in a row.
Here's your host, Carlos Ramirez.
And the number is 415-808-5627, 415-808-KNBR. This is SportsPhone. We're coming to you live from inside the Giants radio booth here at Oracle Park. I came here to see if the vibes could change, and they kind of did, and then they didn't. They take this one, the Phillies do 6-4. The Giants lose 4 in a row. They're 1-7 at home. 1-7. So, what do the Giants do? It's early. It's really early. It is April 6th. This thing is just getting started. But when you look at the home records right now across Major League Baseball, the Giants have the worst home record in the entire Major League Baseball sphere, and it's not even close. They're 1-7. The Nationals are 1-3. They're the second worst in the National League. And when you go to the AL, the Rangers are 1-3. The Red Sox are 1-3, and that's it. No other team is playing a below 4 on the minus 500 column than the Giants. And the funny thing is, if there's anything funny about what happened today, was there was this vibe. Something changed dramatically in that 7th inning when they got the 4-piece up in that crooked number in the 7th. The Giants were pretty much in control of this one. Hauser looked good. He was getting first pitch strikes throughout the game. And then the Phillies just ambushed both him and Baraki, and that was a baseball game, pretty much. Again, the number, 415-808-5627, 415-808-KNBR. I am Carlos Ramirez tonight with Ryan McCarthy joining me in the co-piloting duty of this show. Let's get this started. We go to Kevin. He was at the game, wants to talk about relief pitching. What's up, Kevin? Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going?
Could be better, not going to lie. Could be better.
Yeah, it could be a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit embarrassed to be a Giants fan right now. And I know it's early in the season, but we've given up. Our relief pitching has given up 13 runs in 13 innings. Baraki looked horrible. And Hauser was great. And then, whatever, Baraki gives up 6. We gave up runs. We're down by 2 runs. And, being down by 2 with this Giants team right now, zero hope to come back in the 9th or have any type of exciting game or any it's. I know it's early, but it's frustrating, and I don't feel a lot of hope. It's brutal right now.
What are you most concerned about right now, Kevin? Is it the bullpen or the offense or lack thereof?
Well, both, honestly. It's equally. The bullpen's been awful. The offense is just as bad. And we get a couple runs, then our bullpen gives them up, and then we can't score anything late in the game. And what have we got? 4 home runs on the whole season right now. It's pretty pathetic, to be honest. I know it's early, but it's brutal.
Yeah, I hear you. And again, the game looked today. It was really the beginning of the game was very promising for the Giants. We go back to the 3rd inning. They put that 3-piece up at the board with Adames and Arise, who had another great game, both offensively and defensively. He went single, then sack fly. And you thought, well, here they go. They're 4-0, for up in control of this game. And I guess a question, and I wasn't able to go to the Tony Vitello press conference because I'm up here in the booth. I'm live, coming to you live from Oracle. is I wonder why Vitello left Hauser to start the sixth, knowing the sixth. It was the sixth. Yeah, the fifth.
Yeah, I believe it was the top of the sixth.
Yeah, top of the sixth.
Top of the sixth.
Yeah, top of the sixth when he's facing a lefty and a righty, and then he goes to the lefty to face, the beef of that lineup. He gets a single, then a ground out, and then it's a single strikeout. Then he brings on the lefty to face Schwarber and Harper. I get that, but yeah, man, I don't know. It's not good. 1-7 at home won't get it done. So, anything else in your mind?
No, just a lot of frustration, and I love Tony V. I love Buster. I'm rooting for them both, but it's tough. And and Tony's been making some questionable decisions throughout the first 11 games of the year.
Yeah, I'm with you. Thank you for the call. Drive safe. Let's go to Steve in San Ramon. He knows what the Giants are lacking right now. Steve, welcome to the show. What are the Giants lacking in your opinion?
The Giants are lacking hope, because the guy they just traded, James Tibbs, just hit 7 home runs for the Dodgers in 8 games. He's looking like a superstar that's either going to be up with the Dodgers very quickly, or they're going to be able to flip him for like Terrence Struble, the starting pitcher of the Tigers, very soon. So he got away. Buster gave him away to get Devers for $280 million, and now Devers is struggling. He looks very old. It was a bad trade, and it's not working out. Just like the other caller said, we love Posey, but it's not working out for him as a baseball operations guy right now. It's looking really bad. The team's 3-8. We're already 5 games under 500. So you're telling me if we go 10-0, we'll only be at 500 again? There's no way. And even today's game, we had 4 runs. We gave up 6 runs. So what are you saying? We have to score 7 runs to win a game these days? There's no way with that offense. And how many games are you going to win with 7 runs with this team? Not enough. I honestly think we're going to lose 90 games. I really do. I think 90 is even being kind, because we have a very good chance of losing more. And why does Matt Chapman get a 6-year deal with a no trade clause when nobody else in Major League Baseball was going to give him more than 3 years? Why does the Giants have to give him an extra 3 years and a no trade clause? Because now you're in trouble, because we got rid of Tibbs. Now we're stuck with Chapman. Whereas if we just would have waited, we'd have had Eldridge and Tibbs. And guess what? Tibbs is going to be better than Eldridge. He's going to be better than Eldridge. So when you say, oh, at least Buster didn't give away any of our top talent. Oh, yes, he did. He gave away the best talent, a first-round draft pick that's going to be a superstar. So and the national media is starting to pick up this story now. So if you look online, when you see the Giants, it says Sporting News, Devers trade, Tibbs a superstar. So I'm not the only one saying it. I'm just regurgitating what's already on there.
Did we lose you, Steve? Oh, he's gone. All right. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, frustration is the word right now, and I understand it. No one likes to see what the Giants have done so far. It's not fun. You go to the stadium, you go to the yard, you go to the ballpark. You want to see your team do well. You want to see your team produce, be fun, be entertaining. That's what Buster said not that long ago. And right now, that's not what the product is on the field. Plain and simple. Can it change? Absolutely. Is there enough time? You betcha. Is it happening? No, it's not. The number is 415-808-5627. 415-808-KNBR. Chime in, call in. Did you come to the game? Were you watching at home? Were you listening on KNBR? If so, what is your biggest concern? Whatever you want. This is your space. This is your sanctuary for Giants fans, for sports fans here in the Bay Area. Let's go to Jarrett in Folsom. You're concerned, Jarrett, about the lack of homegrown talent. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's kind of easy, of course, to look back on all the years that we had, 10, 12, 14, and of course those were fantastic teams. But I hadn't been to a game in a number of years. I took my daughter back in 2012, and I went to the game on Saturday. and the difference in general, just in the ballpark, the energy. And then I started to realize, like, none of these players that we have now, we have a real affinity for. Like, of course we drafted Kane, Posey, Lincecum, Belt, you name it. And now we've just got a collection of like 1-year players. There's no connection in the ballpark to any of the players. That's just the vibe I'm getting.
So how do you fix this, Jarrett? Because I think, again, I know it's early. I know it's April 6th. But I also know Giants fans don't want to hear any of that. I know it. Because if I were you, I wouldn't want to hear that. So give me something you think needs to change that's reasonable. Don't tell me like, hey, go get Ohtani or go, tell me something you think the Giants can actually do right now to get this going.
The thing I would have done a number of years ago, the last 3 or 4 years, just gone all in and been bad and give me an A or give me an F, gone through the draft. The Giants have been tinkering around. They've refused to trade off players at the deadline. They decide to keep them, then they leave in free agency anyways. So just be bad for a few years. I think the Giants have built up an equity in their fan base to be bad and come up that way. We have no identity as a team. We have no youth, no speed, no power, like nothing. We're just a collection of players, and we're going to be 500 at best this year. And it'll keep happening until we decide to go all in and be bad. Give me an A or an F, I said.
Okay, but that's a 2-year plan, Jared. How do they change it now? How do they because if you're telling me that's pretty much – let's go to the dumpster. Let's flush this season away, which they won't, nor should they do. How do you think they can fix this 2026? What's the fix?
Well,
what's the repair?
I think that's going to happen regardless. It's not a matter of, or are they going to tank the season? They don't need to tank the season. I mean, I know it's early, but you can look around baseball. This lineup is not going to get you anywhere. It's just not a good team. They're not a good team. They got a bad bullpen. Their starters are, okay, reasonable. They got a couple of injuries, but this is not a playoff team. I mean, I think they need to read the writing on the wall. There's been a number of times in the past few years where they've kept, certain bullpen pieces at the deadline when they should have flipped them for other players. They need to just go all in, and I think they're afraid to do that because of the fan base. But me as a Giants fan, I'd be willing to just ride it out and build up through the draft. They have not done that.
Well,
and they're not seeing their young players through. Let them come up. Let them struggle a little bit. It's like.
But that the funny thing about that, Jared, is the Giants kind of tried to do that with the Ramos and the Matos and the Baileys and the Fitzgeralds. And when that happened and it didn't work, and the Schmitz and so on and so forth, and when it didn't work, people lost their minds and said, go get a big fish. Now they went and got Adames and Chapman, and now they have a Rise, and they traded for Devers, and now they're saying go back to. So which one is it? Do you get the big fish, or do you go through the youth movement? Because or both? Do you combine? Which is what we're seeing now. You're seeing homegrown in Ramos and Schmidt when he plays, and Bailey, which is your catcher, and then you're seeing the big fish. Is it the wrong big fish? That's a reasonable question. Did they make mistakes with Devers and Rise has got here, and Adames and Chapman? I just think they're too good for us to say on April 6th, they're not good enough.
Yeah, I understand. I think it's easy for at least me to think of with the Giants. I mean, we have to sometimes kind of step back and realize how incredible our drafting was during that 10, 12, 14 period. To get 6 giant Hall of Famers. I mean, they hit it out of the park with those guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
you get
don't
spoiled
grow on trees.
Listen, it's like trying to replicate. The same's happening with the Warriors, Jared. Thank you for the call. It's like trying to replicate or get angry the Warriors because you can't replicate drafting Steph, Clay, and Draymond. Well, good luck with that. That's a once-in-a-generation type of, not draft, it's not a single class, but, draft spectrum where you have 3 of those, the best shooter of all time, one of the best defenders of all time, and a second best shooter of all time in the same draft generation. That just doesn't replicate itself, right? Let's go to Gary in Newbury Park, responding to Steve. He's not happy with Steve. We got some caller-on-caller action here on SportsPhone. Welcome to the show, Gary.
Yeah, thanks, Carlos. The first guy who called said pretty much everything I wanted to say.
All right.
We're locked into these guys on long-term contracts with Adames and Chapman, and you can't get out of it. We're stuck. If we could have held on to Tibbs and had him and Eldridge and build around them, I think that would have been better.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see how we're going to get out of this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Would you like? How about if the Giants go get a guy who is, I don't know, who can average, let's say, 280 with an 850 slugging, with a 128 OPS, who can get you, I don't know, average 30 bombs a year? Would you like that kind of player?
Well, they had their opportunity in the offseason. They should have signed Tucker. We got Bader, and the Dodgers got Tucker.
Right, but would you like? If I tell you the Giants can go get right now a player whose career averages are 280 with a 128 OPS, and can get you 30 home runs a year, would you like that kind of player?
Yes, I would.
Well, that's Devers. Those are Rafi Devers' career numbers. That I just gave you the career stat line for Rafael Devers. He's a 275 career hitter with a 128 OPS who can hit 30 home runs a year. And I'm hearing he looks old. I'm not saying he looks good. He doesn't right now. He's hitting 190, beg your pardon. His slugging is 286. Do we really think that Devers will hit like this the entire year? Which doesn't mean he's not good right now, right? Both things can be true. Devers is not being productive, but also we have a 10-year sample size of Rafael Devers being a 128 OPS plus hitter. For those of you who are not familiar with the OPS plus, league average is 100. Every point above 100 means you're that much better percentage-wise than the league. That means that for his career, Devers is a 28% better hitter than the league average. So it's a really delicate line to walk, and I get it because everyone, me included, wants to see production right now. I want to see the Giants do well. They're not. My point is, I think we need to give this a measure of time. Not infinite, not forever. This is a win now business, and the Giants are spending money to win now. I'm saying it's just let's be a bit patient and also be critical. We can do both. Great call. I mean, tonight the phone's on fire. Let's go to Brian in Modesto. Oh, here we go. He wants to discuss Tony Vitello. Hey, Brian, what's up? Welcome to the show.
Carlos, muchas gracias por tu trabajo duro en la radio.
Oh, thank you. What's on your mind?
Well, what was Buster thinking hiring somebody with no professional experience?
Well,
and throw him right into the major leagues.
He has professional experience just at the college level. He doesn't have professional baseball. And I know what you're saying. He didn't have any MLB or affiliate experience. I get that. I get what you're saying. So what do you think this is a Vitello thing? Do you think this is his fault?
Who, Buster's?
No. I'm saying, do you think the Giants are 3-8 and 1-7 at home because of the manager?
He has to have some culpability.
I'm not saying he doesn't, but do you think it's all on him? Or what's the percentage? I think you have to spread it around. I'm just curious, how much do you think this falls on Vitello's lap?
Well, not all of it, simply because when you have Elliot Ramos swinging at pitches a mile outside, when you have all kinds of hitters swinging and missing, and not being aggressive on the first pitch sometimes, and not being aware of situational hitting. I mean, this is what professional baseball is all about. The mental game is a huge part of the Major League Baseball.
Yep. Yeah. So, again, I understand the frustration. Do you think it's fair? I'm asking you the question, Brian, and I'm also asking it to everyone out there listening. Do you think it's fair? Because I've heard people on national media go off on Tony Vitello to the extent of saying he's embarrassing the Giants, which I disagree with. I don't think he has done anything to embarrass the Giants. I think he's doing the best he can. Is it good enough? Not now. They're 3-8. Is 11 games really enough? If it's the NFL, sure, but it's a 162 season. Is 11 games a big sample size? Is it enough for anyone to really judge or know or understand Vitello? And if not, what's the number? When would you say you're comfortable saying, yeah, this guy's good or he isn't?
Well, no, it's not a big enough sample size. And I've been a Giants fan since 1977. I can't tell you how many times I've seen the Giants lose 8 out of 11. I saw the Giants in 2000 lose 11 out of 15 to begin the 2000 season. They won 94 games.
Right.
And had even though they went 0-6 to start the home record, they ended up with the best home record in the major leagues. They won 94 games.
Yep.
I've seen this team win 40 out of 55 games.
Yep.
These streaks happen. I've seen the Giants in 2010 be 6 games out in September 1st and win the division. I've seen a lot in almost 50 years of being a Giants fan.
So Brian, let me ask you this: when do you, in your vast Giants fandom experience, that is really valuable, when do you think it's fair for you, not me, not the world, not San Francisco, for you, for Brian, and Modesto? When do you feel you will know or have sufficient evidence to give a verdict on whether Tony Vitello is the guy or he's a miss?
I think I'd just give him one season. I think because of his lack of major league experience, lack of professional baseball,
right?
In the minor league system, major league system, I think one season should be it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Thank you, Brian. Let's go to Max in Moraga. He also wants to chime in on Tony V. What's up, Max?
What's up? I mean, I think Tony Vitello overall just doesn't have the respect of the clubhouse at all, and that's a problem.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Because I mean, we got Matt Chapman trying to take a bag in the 9th inning when they're down by 3. I mean, if I'm a player, I'm going to be worried about stealing a bag when I'm down by 3 because I'm worried I'm going to get my ass chewed in the dugout. But he's obviously some of these players are close to Tony's age. How do they expect Tony to get the respect of the dugout? I mean, to get the respect of the dugout, you got to also make some tough decisions. Why is Sudak not playing after going 3 for 3? Let your nuts hang a little bit and let him play over Patrick Bailey after going 3 for 3. Bruce Bochy used to always start the guy after they hit a home run the next game. No matter what, they'd always start the next game. You got to make tough decisions in order to gain the respect of the clubhouse.
Let me ask you something. Do you think Bob Melvin had the clubhouse's respect?
I think Bob Melvin had more of the clubhouse's respect. I think the problem with Bob Melvin is that Bob Melvin was too old and didn't have the type of guys, though, that Tony V does. I mean, Tony V now has all of the weapons that he needs to go on a run, and this is the perfect time to see if he'll actually make a difference, because I think a manager's role in the MLB is, when the team's in a rut like this, is to mentally get the guys back in the game to go back up there and start swinging the bats a little bit.
This is really interesting because I kind of disagree with you, Max, in this regard. This team is not that different than the one that Melvin had. This team has Arise and Bader. The other teams had Jung-Hoo Lee at center and Yastrzemski at right, and maybe Lamont Wade played first, and then you had Schmidt. I mean, but it's pretty much the same team. I'm sure Melvin had a way better bullpen than what Vitello does. And the rotation was even, I think, better. With with Verlander and Webb and Ray and other dudes. I don't think this is a vastly improved team from last year. I think the offense on paper, I think the defense is way better. I'll give you that. Defensively, this team is elite. They're great everywhere. Catching, infield, Arise is playing his mind off. You have Jung-Hoo Lee playing right field, great level. Harrison Bader's a Gold Glover. Defensively, they're better. I don't think they are pitching-wise. I just don't. And Bob Melvin had I know it because I covered it. I was there. He did have the clubhouse's respect and their backs. And he had theirs. They had his. How'd that work out? He's out for a reason. I mean, he's not here anymore. It didn't work. So, again, I think it's way too early and, quite frankly, unfair to Tony Vitello to say, nah, he doesn't work. He's not the guy. You have to let this cook. You have to let this simmer. If we're in the All-Star break and the team is 20 under 500, then we can have a conversation. Like, hey, if he can't figure it out, if he's done things, he's made mistakes, and I think he's had great moments or good moments in an 11-game sample size. I think his command of the starting rotation is good. I think he made a mistake today leaving Hauser too late to begin that inning. I would have brought in the lefty to start the inning, face a 9-hole hitter. It would have been lefty, righty, lefty, lefty if someone gets on base. Not put your reliever in a high-stress situation in Baraki, who doesn't have that kind of career or, back to back him up. But that's me. Do I think that's a game breaker? Perhaps. But I think he's done really good things like with Logan Webb managing him. And moving the lineup to find some consistency. Again, it's really complicated. Let's go. That's a great call. Thank you, Max. Now we go to Gary in Marin talking about ownership. What's up, Gary?
And get back to something that I heard way back there. I'm an LA boy, by the way, and I came up and I was at the 62 World Series. I was at that 7th game. So that makes me almost 90 years old. Anyway, to make a very long story short, I'll be honest with you. I remember that Brian Sabian took off right after, almost the day after, the Giants. He said, these guys don't want to spend any money, is what he was thinking, I'm sure, because they want their money out. And that's the problem. There's a lot of people in there right now. Somebody kind of hit on it again tonight. They're just trying to make the money out of it. They don't want to put any real money into the Giants. And they're really fighting some really money teams out there, and they're in one hell of a hot position. I think Buster, I was there the night he got hit, by the way. And
so are you saying the Giants are not putting money into this team right now?
Well, you can correct me. I might be wrong, but they're putting money in, but not the kind of money. Maybe they can't put it in. Maybe they just a lot of people want to take their money out. They're in there as an investment. And I know one year, we're not putting any money in, more or less, and that was when Sabian just left. He went back to the Yankees. I don't know what he's doing now. I'm sure he's still back there, but it's very. What they lack right now, obviously, is a bullpen. I think Buster wanted a buddy. He really liked this guy, and I'm sure he's a great guy, Tony V. But by the same token, I don't think he's going to last very long. I wouldn't give him a year. I'd give him. It's that critical right now. I'd give him about a month and a half if things don't turn around.
Okay.
And it's. I hate to say it, but it's like that guy they hired for Notre Dame. Remember, he had no real experience except for high school, and he crashed. I can't remember his name.
Okay.
But I just I don't know what to say here. I was talking to some guys today here in the mall, and well, it's still pretty young. It's still pretty young in the season. It really is. In all fairness, I saw some signs of life tonight, contrary to what we all say. But how long does it take you to figure out that they're all hitting on one pitch? Does it take you 3 or 4 guys?
Yep. Great call. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate that. I mean, I do think they're putting money into this. Chapman's deal, Adames' deal. They're taking in Devers' money. Logan's got a good deal. Jung-Hoo Lee is also an expensive player. But, I mean, they're not the Dodgers. No one is because they have, a specific set of financial situations and benefits that no other team in baseball does have. Let's take a quick break here, Ryan. Dominic and Ed, hold tight. Quick break. We got to go. When we come back, I'm going to go to you, Dominic, and you, Ed, and also the other fans that are chiming in right now. The number, plus some text messages as well. 415-808-5627, 415-808-KNBR. Quick break. We'll be right back.
Giants fans, this is your hub to have your voice heard. SportsPhone KNBR. Streaming live on YouTube at KNBR 1045.
Well, the phone numbers, the calls are just flying in tonight. Let's go to Dominic. I'm Carlos Ramirez here live from Oracle Park as they are right now watering the infield. Here at Oracle, there's no one left but me and the lights and the crew. And you, the fans. The number is 415-808-5627, 415-808-KNBR. Dominic in Walnut Creek, we need to be patient. That's your call, right, Dominic? Welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. I agree with you. I think we're jumping the gun a little bit. I'm pointing fingers. We threw a lot of different ingredients in the pot the past 2 years, and we bring in a guy like Tony V to lead some culture and be a personality. And now no one likes when he's taking a stance on what lineup he wants to put out or which pitchers he wants to keep in. But this is what was missing, and now people are turning their back because it's not happening right away.
Mm-hmm.
I think it takes time to build a culture. You can't give them a month and a half or 6 months or less than a season. Part of that's bringing in the new guys, and those are okay moves. It's hard to find a spot, maybe besides the outfield, that you could go out and find someone better. I think as fans we gotta be there, and most of the crowd was pretty into it, even in the late innings today, which was good to hear on the radio. I was listening in, but I think the callers are the past few nights I've been listening, taking a little hard stances here.
Yeah, I agree. What would you change today if you could, Dominic? If you had a magic wand, if Harry Potter stopped by your place and said, yeah, you can do whatever you want, what would you change?
To me, it seems like the biggest thing that's been happening between spring training and now is that the guys are playing a little tight, and they're not playing loose, and as a team, they're all going up there and taking their own at-bats. People aren't shortening up. People aren't looking at pitches. People aren't being patient, and you're not going to win. You're not going to win a division like that. And we can't expect Tony B to go in and sit down one of the big names or big bats immediately. You can't have him discipline these guys immediately. Then he'll really lose a clubhouse.
Right.
It takes time to build that trust and make those moves. And also, you have 13 coaches on the coaching staff or so. You have all these veteran guys that are saying things in his ear. He also can't just have free reign and do what he wants. There might be too many chefs in the kitchen as well.
Right. Well, thank you. That's a great call. Thank you, Dominic. Let's go. You know what? A couple of messages before we go back to the calls. Let's go to the Golden State Lumber and Showroom text line. Let's begin with, here we go. 4125 says, Dodgers backup catcher went 4 for 4 with 3 home runs. Giants starting catcher Bailey hitting 129. 5500 says, they're lacking everything. So far, manager who thinks this is a college team. 2327 says, why is the Vitello postgame presser not on KNBR? Because we have the show. We have some clips. I think Ryan has, correct me, check me here. We got some clips, right, Ryan? Okay, we're going to play them in a bit. So we do have it. More on the Golden State Lumber and Showroom text line. 6276 says, Carlos, the bullpen is terrible. How do they let it get this bad? Well, they kind of rebuilt it, or tried to, when they let go of the Rogers and Doval and and company. And you got some hurt players too. But here we go. 9677 says, holy crap, it's not that easy to rebuild, especially in baseball. No, it's not. Got to get lucky and hit on the draft picks, which is not an easy thing to do. If the last 7 years of the Sharks have shown, well, yeah, different sport, but still. 4877 says, Tony's ability, let me go back, because there's a bunch of text here. Yeah. He says, Tony's ability to manage an MLB game is being exposed. It's much different than managing in the SEC. Plus, he was given some busts. He says, Lee, Bailey, Encarnacion, and Chapman. Busters, he'll have some player messes to clean up. Final one for now before we go to more calls. 6012 says, I hear you. You're saying something needs to change. They're playing terrible, but nothing needs to change because it's too early. Square that for me. No. I'm saying things need to change, but I'm saying it's too early to panic. Changing things doesn't mean you have to panic. Like firing Vitello, which no one says they should do, but like if you come to me and say, fire the manager, that's panicking. that's a panic move. Like, do you bring Eldridge up now? I think that's a panic move right now. Is that better for him on the? I don't know. So what do you change? Do you change the lineup? Do you change the approach and the rotation? Do you have Arise leading? Vitello's moving he had today, Arise hit second, Chapman hitting third. He bumped Devers down to fourth. Ramos going down. He's trying stuff. We'll see what happens. More calls. Ed in San Francisco was at the game. He wants to defend Tony Vitello. What's up, Ed?
Hey, good evening, Carlos. How are you tonight, young man?
I'm doing good. Thank you for the call. What's on your mind?
So, I wish fans would just take a break about hammering the managers we have. Because if you look up the history of baseball managers, some of the greatest managers in baseball are 500 or worse.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you didn't like Kapler. He was not that good towards the end. You didn't like Melvin, and now it's Vitello. But the product on the field is based on the players and not the manager. Because once the game starts, the manager is pretty much helpless. He can only play the players the general manager gives him.
Right. So you're saying be patient with Tony Vitello.
You have to be patient with every manager because he can only play what is given to him.
I'm with you.
Once the player comes on the field, he can't make Ramos stop swinging, and he can't make Devers, take a pitch.
Well, he can coach him, though. I mean, he can manage it and coach it out of them. But the question is that coachable? I mean, Devers is 29. Is that something you can coach out of a player or improve from a player at this day and age, at this stage in his career? Going back to Devers.
I think once you once you've made it to the major leagues, if they haven't learned to hit by then, it's just not the place to learn.
I agree.
That's what the minors is for.
Unless, you're a defensive savant or a defensive guru, which you can, build your career around. And if you're satisfied with that, fine. Like Bailey. If Bailey turns into a perennial 230 hitter, but wins, 7 or 8 Gold Gloves, I'd take that. I mean, who wouldn't? And you also need defense. What you can have is every single player in your lineup hit below 300. Like right now, your best hitter, and it's not even close, is Luis Ariz. He's hitting 295. Right? If that's his season, that's fine. I think he'll be even better. I think he can go above 300, and he's playing great. But do we actually think Adames will hit 214 for the entire season? Or Devers will hit 190? Or Ramos, 209? Or Lee, 162? I mean, I just don't think it's sustainable. At some point, this offense has way too much talent to not be productive. Now, how do you fix that? That's a coaching staff. I mean, it's not just Tony Vitello. But last season, they had both Bob Melvin and Pat Burrell, and the team didn't hit. So it's a conundrum. It's a conundrum. Ed, thank you so much. We go to Connor in San Francisco. Players need to execute better. Is that your take, Connor? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Carlos. Thanks for having me. Yeah, that's my take.
All right.
I mean, I just think it's too early to put this on Tony V. He's 11 games in. I mean, there's only so much you can do as a manager in the bigs.
Mm-hmm.
When are these big names that I was so excited about signing and trading for, when are they going to start executing? It's not on Tony V to coach them up. They're big leaguers. When is Devers, when is Adames, when is Chapman going to perform to what they should be performing based on their contracts? And it's driving me nuts.
What player so far worries you the most?
Adames had a good game tonight, but just the way he lacks awareness of the strike zone and the amount of swing and miss that we have, not just him, but all throughout our lineup, I feel like we're either going to, put up 7 and maybe get a win, or we're going to get blanked or score 2 runs. It's just, we're never going to win a 5 or 6 run ball game. We lost 6-4 tonight.
So you're saying Adames concerns you. He went 2 for 4 today, though, with no strikeouts and a walk.
He had a great game today, but
Yes, he did.
there's too many at-bats where he's it's 6 inches up, 6 inches out, and he's striking out again or striking out looking and having an emotional challenge. We paid him a lot of money, and I'm wondering when he's going to he's had a whole year to settle in now, That's kind of what I thought last year it was going to be tough, to live up to that big contract, but now he's a whole year in, and I'm wondering when he's going to start performing.
That's a fair. You know what? That's a fair assessment. That's a fair critique of Willy Adames because he did get a huge contract. He's in his age 30 season. That, I think, is a fair assessment. And we'll see how he deals with this new. This is new for him. This is the first season of his career where he's led off a lineup this many times. This is completely uncharted territory for him from that regard. He does have some good backup, though. He does have some good bodyguards. Some people in the sabermetrician community think that protection is fiction in lineup construction, that it doesn't matter who hits behind you, that won't affect the way that you hit, which I disagree with. I'm a certified sabermetrician. I disagree with that take. I think if Barry Bonds is hitting behind me, you better think I'm going to get better pitches to hit because they don't want me getting a walk. So then here comes Barry and hits a two-run bomb out of Tumacabi Cove. So I do think that it's not fairy dust and a fictionary tale, roster protection and bodyguards in the lineup. And Adames right now has a pretty good one in the rise. So maybe that 1-2 punch, if we let it work itself out through a couple of games or even a week or something, we'll see what happens, even more. But I think it needs time. Is it frustrating? Yes. But that's the thing about baseball. You get 162 of these. This is not the NFL where you have to fix it now because if you lose 3 in a row, you're cooked. That's the thing. Thank you, Connor. Let's go to Mark in San Mateo. What's up, Mark?
How's it going?
Good.
When I saw Tony Vitello get ejected on Sunday, and then I see Adames and Devers smack him on the butt as he's going into the clubhouse, I thought to myself that these guys, they're not intimidated by this guy, and that's something that Tony Vitello explicitly expressed in his on-game interview with the Yankees, that he can't talk down to these guys anymore. I mean, he was a little bit joking, but when I saw him leave that dugout and the guys are smacking him on the butt, it looks to me like the guys don't really respect him. And I know that, the camaraderie will change a little bit and things will, get different, but that's something I want to see change.
But you know what? Let me ask you something, Mark. Let me ask you something. In your line, what do you do for a living?
Carpenter.
Okay. Do you have a boss, or are you the boss?
Nope, I got a boss.
Okay. Have you had new management at some point in your career? Has your boss been fired, or has you had a new GM come in? Has that happened to you?
Yes.
Okay. Does chemistry or camaraderie, is that instantaneous?
Of course not. No.
So why would it be for the Giants? Even if the manager is Joe Madden, or if they bring Joe Torre out of retirement, or even if they brought Bruce Bochy. Like, Bochy doesn't know any of these players. He hasn't managed them. None of them. So if we expect, and if you want to blame it on the fact that he coached Tennessee baseball and not MLB, you're kidding yourself. Not you, I mean in general. Like, chemistry, it's like a relationship. It's like being married or having a girlfriend or a date or a new life partner. This takes time. And I don't care if it's Bruce Bochy or Dusty Baker or name the manager. This takes time. It just does. You don't build chemistry whether you're a carpenter or an engineer or you're in tech or you're in media. When you get a new boss, that takes time.
Okay, going off that, Tony's the boss, and Tony's got to be able to make those decisions, those fiery decisions, which we got him for. And then you get a guy like Daniel Suzak come in there and go 3 for 3 with a walk, fire up that crowd. The first time we get a win and Gatorade splashed, it's getting fired. People don't. Suzak doesn't sniff the on-deck circle for the next 4 games.
Yeah.
Why isn't Tony Vitello making that decision? We're letting him, right? We put the faith in him. That's on Tony Vitello. Unless there's a higher up telling no.
Maybe it is. Do we think Tony Vitello is the only? I'm not saying he's not. I'm asking a question. Do you think Tony Vitello is making all the lineups by himself? Let me ask it this way. Do you think any manager in today's day and age, stat-driven era of baseball, do you think they're Tommy Lasordaing this like they used to 40 years ago and making the lineup as they please? Do you think that's happening right now in any MLB team right now?
Of course not, but Patrick Bailey has proved himself for 3 years plus as a 226 hitter. And Daniel Suzak could potentially prove himself as an all-star, but we're not giving him the chance because the previous caller said we're going to give him, I'd be happy if he's a 7-time Gold Glove, 230 hitter. But then who are we holding back? Are we holding back a potential all-star?
No, that's fair. I just think basing it off of one game, from Suzak, which, again, we might have the second coming of Mike Piazza here. We don't know. This is one game we're basing it off of, right? But your point is fair. It's fair. Why haven't we seen Suzak again? And at this point, we got to ask other questions, like, is he not producing when I don't know. Like, is he not getting anything? Was that a one-game oasis? Was that, a hallucination? We don't know. We got to see him. And that's a fair point. That's a very fair point, Mark. We have to see it. Quick break. Final one. We go to Jonathan after the break. Keep calling in. The number is 415-808-5627. Don't go anywhere, Jonathan. We're going to go to you after this very quick break.
Sports Phone KNBR keeps rolling live from the KNBR Casino Matrix Progressive Jackpot Studios. Casino Matrix Progressive Jackpots are here. Where are you? Just drop in. Please play responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, the number is 415-808-5627, 415-808-KNBR. Let's go to the Golden State Lumber and Showroom text line. 0154 says, let's take a breathe. Let's breathe. Carlos, obvious. Magic wand, lights out bullpen, period. That's what he says. Against New York, the Mets, San Diego, Philly is a tough road to hoe. Let's see after Baltimore, Washington, and Cincinnati. That's a great take. 9677 says, I think I would like to see Oliva in left field and Ramos at DH. Okay. 5806 says, don't agree with that take. They respect them even more. I agree with that. I think that gesture with Tony Vitello signals respect. April 6th, 10:58 p.m. says, 6896, stats are killing baseball. Nope, I disagree. I think people who make decisions based off of stats are hurting the game, not stats. Stats are just stats. It's how you use them. They're not good or bad. They're just stats. They're numbers. 5817, Pat Bailey can't hit. Look at his previous years. Well, he has regressed, and that's what the numbers say. And finally, 8914 says, leave the callers alone, Carlos. It's not your fault, their fault. You're bad at radio. Well, I disagree with that too. I think it's not my fault either. I think I'm great at this. Actually, no, I'm kidding. Jonathan at Oracle, he came to the game, and he is frustrated. Jonathan, you're going to close us off tonight. No, I'm sorry. Kitten, you're next. We're going to Jonathan, then Kitten, or Kiten. I don't know how to produce it or pronounce it. Jonathan, welcome to the show.
Hey, Carlos. Yeah,
Wait,
tonight was my
Jonathan,
first...
do you think I'm bad at radio? Be honest.
No, not at all.
right.
I've loved watching you on TV for
thank you.
quite a while.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Sure.
All right. What's in your mind?
Yeah, tonight was my first game of the season.
Okay.
I'm really disappointed, first of all. To blow a 4-0 lead, there's just no excuse for it. I've despised the Phillies for a long time, and it was literal torture watching that implode. They have 2 games left for the Phillies, and they have the long road trip. I think, at least as far as April is concerned, that's where we're going to find out. Do they have any fight, at least this month? I'm looking at that next homestand. The Dodgers, let's not kid ourselves, nothing's happening there. And I apologize in advance, but another reason I really wanted to win the game tonight, I'm a long-suffering Marlins fan.
Oh.
And that's my next game. I'm coming to the entire series, so you're not going to get a lot of sympathy from me there.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I see it, we may have to wait till May. We may need to learn more in May because April is not looking good.
Yeah.
And after what I saw tonight and watching the first 10 games, I just don't see it. If anything, I'm hoping that that's the kind of performance they'll put up against Miami because then at least I have a little bit of a chance. But it's just so frustrating to watch them get a lead, the rare occasion they get it, and not be able to hang on to it. And having watched the Phillies from the other side for years, you can't toy around with a team like that. I heard somebody behind me talk about how they're not that good of a team outside of Harper. I watched Real Muto for years, and then I saw him torch the Marlins and the Giants. They've got legitimate hitters up and down their lineup, and if you give them a feast, they're going to take it and munch. And the bullpen was ridiculous, and that took the morale out of the bats, which also have been struggling like crazy. So I'm scared to death going into this Miami series. I don't know what's going to happen because with my luck, that's when the Giants will find their form.
If you don't mind me asking, Jonathan, how are you a Marlins fan?
I grew up, even though I was born here, I grew up out there. When my parents divorced, my mother took me to South Florida when I was 7, and I spent my main childhood years out there. So I saw the 97 and 03 World Series there. before I came back to California.
Are you a Leland or a McKeon guy, or both?
I love them both dearly, but where in the past I would have said Leland, if I had to choose one, probably more McKeon, because the road since '03, Giants fans have no idea what real pain is.
I know, man. That's a great call. Thank you, Jonathan. I don't know if it's Keaton or Keaton or Kytone. How do you pronounce your name? Welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm Kai Kung.
Okay. Welcome to the show, Kyton.
Yeah,
Kyton.
Kai.
Kai. Okay. Kai. Welcome to the show. What's on your mind, buddy?
So, I was at the game tonight. Obviously, a disappointing loss.
Yep.
But I don't think it's too soon to start panicking and start blaming it on Tony Vitello. I watched him college baseball. I kind of see it, and I thought he was a great manager. I think it's too early for us to start panicking and blaming him. I mean, we're 11 games into the season, and yeah, obviously we're not off to a great start, but it's too early. And I also want to say, another caller was talking about why we haven't seen Daniel Susac, and one of the big things that I was thinking about, I don't know how much this plays into it, but the pitchers now, like Webb and Ray, have had Bailey behind the dish, and they've had him for a little bit, so they're used to having that consistency, and they know and they can trust Bailey opposed to Susac. No shot to Susac, obviously, but I was just saying maybe that's a possibility why we don't see him as much.
Here's the thing. We're talking about having Tony V earn or win, however you want to, label that, what adjective you want to put to it. He needs to win the clubhouse's respect and trust. I don't know if you do that by getting rid or moving or replacing or sitting your two-time Gold Glove winning catcher to give Susac another start and another start. I'm not saying that's how you do it. I'm asking a legitimate question because I don't know many managers who would just sit their, again, two-time Gold Glove winning catcher because his backup hit a home run or had a great day. I don't know. Like, would he have done that to Posey? And I'm not saying Bailey is Posey. He's not. No one is. But I think we're quick to forget that this team, or what Buster says wins championships, is pitching and defense. Pitching and defense. So if that's a truism, if that's the blueprint or the map that they're going to follow, if that's the GPS on the board for this 2026 orange and black vehicle that Tony V is driving with Buster, you don't sit Patrick Bailey. You just don't, because it's pitching and defense. And I get it. Susac had a great day at the plate. He did. He's not Patrick Bailey catching. Patrick Bailey is, by stats and by metrics, the best defensive player in baseball. Not catcher, player. So you have to have him out there. And when you have a compromised or less than efficient bullpen, you don't take him out. Because here's what's going to happen. If Vitello takes Bailey off and Susac has a bad day behind the dish and he, pass ball here, they steal second, they steal third, and makes a mistake, guess what's going to happen? You tell me what's going to happen.
They're going to chew Tony V out.
They're going to chew Tony V out. They're going to chew him out.
We should put Susac over Bailey. That's never what I was trying to say. I was trying to say that Bailey, I like Bailey there. I like having a catcher that can control the game and then be there and the pitchers can trust, and it can help our very weak bullpen. I'm not saying that Susac should be starting over Bailey, but I'm saying that might be a reason why we haven't seen Susac.
Yeah, it might. It might. And that's a fair point. That's a really fair point. Kyton, thank you so much for the call, man. Appreciate it. That's great. All right. That wraps it up for this edition of SportsPhone KNBR. Listen, man, great show. Not great game, great show. And this is one of the reasons I love working in this market so much and in this station, because the fan base, you, the Bay Area fans, are knowledgeable, are fair, are smart. You know your sports, not just baseball, football, whatever sport you cover or like or root for. This is amazing. Ryan, thank you so much, man. You were great tonight.
Thanks, Carlos, for having me on, and hopefully the Giants can do much better than this.
Let's hope so. Tomorrow we'll do it again. This was SportsPhone KNBR live from Oracle Park. Lights are still on. Hopefully tomorrow the offense will be as well. We sign off, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
here's your host, Kerry Crowley.
Back here at Oracle Park, time now for the National Anthem, sponsored by El Camino Health, where togethering is the path toward healing.
Here to perform the Star-Spangled Banner under the direction of Dr. Anthony Rivera, please welcome the Santa Clara University Bronco Pep Band.
Nicely done with the National Anthem. It's a cool night here at Oracle Park. Temperature right now 58 degrees. So the new guys, Harrison Bader, Luis Ariz, Tony Vitello, and the coaching staff are going to get their first San Francisco night tonight. It's cool and it's breezy. Time now for the starting lineups. They're sponsored by the Dolan Law Firm. They live here, they work here, they win here. DolanLawFirm.com. First for the visiting Philadelphia Phillies, they're 5-4 on the year. They are managed by Rob Thompson. Here's his lineup for game one of this three-game set. Leading off, the shortstop, Trey Turner, hitting .289 on the year. Batting second, the designated hitter, Kyle Schwarber. He has 3 home runs already this season. Bryce Harper's hitting third. He's playing first. Alec Boehm is the third baseman. He's batting fourth. Hitting fifth at second base, Bryson Stott. He was 3 for 12 against the Rockies in the Colorado series. The Phillies won 2 of 3 against the Rockies. Batting sixth in right field, Adolis Garcia. He's hitting .294 on the year. Batting seventh in left field, maybe the Phillies' hottest hitter, Brandon Marsh, hitting .303 on the season. Hitting eighth and doing the catching, JT Real Muto. And batting ninth in center field, Justin Crawford. The rookie's off to a nice start. He's hitting .321. So that's Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Boehm, Stott, Garcia, Marsh, Real Muto, Crawford, the starting lineup for the Phillies. On the mound, 22-year-old Andrew Painter, 6'7", 215. He won his major league debut last start against the Nationals, went 5 1/3, gave up just 1 run. He is the top prospect in the Phillies organization. We're anxious to see him pitch. Here's Tony Vitello's lineup for the Giants. They're 3-7 on the year. They're trying to turn things around here tonight against the Phillies. Leading off, the shortstop, Willie Adames. Batting second, the second baseman, Luis Ariz. Hitting third at third, Matt Chapman. Went 5 for 16 against the Mets. The cleanup hitter tonight, the first baseman, Rafi Devers. Hitting fifth in left field, Elliot Ramos. Batting sixth in right field, Jung-Hoo Lee. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Gerard Encarnacion. Batting eighth in center field, Harrison Bader. And batting ninth and doing the catching, Patrick Bailey. So that's Adames, Ariz, Chapman, Devers, Ramos, Lee, Encarnacion, Bader, Bailey, for those of you keeping score with us at the ballpark. In his home debut, Adrian Hauser, 10th season in the big leagues, right-hander, received the loss last time out. He pitched pretty well, though. Gave up 3 runs, just one of those was earned in 5 1/3. He struck out 4. Didn't get a lot of help from his defense behind him. Giants just taking the field right now. They're in their home whites. The Phillies are in their road grays. No fancy uniforms tonight, just all white for the Giants, all gray for the Phillies. The umpires for tonight's game, Adam Hammery behind the plate, John Miller's good friend. At first base, Clint Vondrak. At second base, Todd Tishner. He is the crew chief. And at third base is Austin Jones. Crowd still filing into the ballpark. Like I said, a cool night tonight. Jackets required. It looks like a lot of the Giants players are wearing long sleeves, and they should. It's 58 degrees. It's going to be 55 in about an hour or so. This message is sponsored by Walk Up Personal Injury Law. Justice takes more than a fighter. You need a champion. Visit walkuplaw.com. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced, retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Francisco Giants. Trey Turner is getting ready to step into the batter's box. Kyle Schwarber batting second. And Adrian Hauser, anxious to see a lot of Adrian Hauser. I remember pitching against the Giants when he was in Milwaukee, and he's got a good fastball. He'll use it late in the count, high in the zone. Change-up, four-seam slider, and a curveball to go with it. All right, ball's in, coming down. Patrick Bailey throwing to second base. Trey Turner jumping in the batter's box. We're ready for baseball. And we're here with all 9 innings of play-by-play is the Hall of Famer, John Miller.
All right, FP, and for the Phillies, it will be Trey Turner to lead off here against Adrian Hauser. The field is covered, infield and outfield, in the dark early evening shadows, but the hitter's backdrop and the whole scoreboard complex above that is still reflecting the sun back in the eyes of the hitter. Here's Hauser's first pitch, and a two-seamer in there for a called strike. 55 degrees, the official game time temperature. Now the one strike offering. Little tapper foul up the third base side. And whenever you see Trey Turner hit one poorly and it's on the ground, you start thinking, uh-oh, that's going to be a hit if it's fair, but it just kicked off foul. Still, he's 33 years old, or 30, he'll be 33 this year. Still one of the fastest runners in the game. 0-2 the count to him. Here's Hauser into his windup, delivers, and he runs a fastball right in under the hands, and the count is 1-2. 95 miles an hour with that one. The leadoff batter is Trey Turner. When you've been injured in an auto accident, you don't just need an attorney, you need a heavy hitter. Contact Ayala, Morgan, and Bazard. There's a ball off the outside. 2-2 the count to Trey Turner. Hauser pitches. Two-seamer that stays off the outside. Now it's a full count, 3-2. Giants center fielder Bader shaded over toward right center a bit. The left fielder Ramos way over toward left center, way off the line. 3-2 pitch. Swing, and it's hit sharply foul to the far end of the Giants' third base side dugout.
Turner had a nice series against the Rockies. He went 6 for 12 with 3 doubles.
Phillies won the first 2 games there in Colorado. But the Rockies got some strong pitching yesterday. Beat them 4-1. Now a swing and a high pop fly. Shallow center field. Several Giants going for this one. And Bader, the center fielder, takes charge and makes the catch. The left fielder Ramos, the shortstop Adames, the second baseman Arise, all were giving chase on that one. And for good measure, the right fielder Jung-Hoo Lee came hustling over since all of his other teammates were out there. But it was Bader, one away.
A little first out party in center field.
So now here is the powerful Kyle Schwarber. Now the pitch to him, and that is a curveball at the knees for a called strike. Schwarber, who had the biggest home run season of his career, and he's had a lot of big home run seasons last year. Now he hits a foul right off the end of the bat over toward the Giants on deck circle to the left of the plate. Strike 2. 0-2 the count. 96 mile an hour sinker there from Hauser, running away from Schwarber. Here's Hauser throwing, and he's down and in with a slider. 1-2. I loved in the World Baseball Classic that in the Team USA lineup, Aaron Judge, who hit 53 home runs, was the third leading home run hitter in the lineup. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a changeup. 88 mile an hour changeup after all those sinkers and sliders. And right by Schwarber, who was almost finished with his swing before the ball arrived.
Yeah, that's been the book on Schwarber early in the season. Now he's 6 for 33 to start the year out, but the league has been throwing him off-speed pitches. He can hit a fastball. Everyone's been trying the off-speed. It worked there.
2 down, nobody on. Here is Bryce Harper, and he lines one down the left field line. Fair ball. He got a first pitch curveball, and he slashed at it. The ball is played off the sidewall by Ramos to throw into second. The tag, not in time. Man, a great one-hop throw from Elliot Ramos. It was right on the bag. And on one perfect hop to Arise, and sliding in just ahead of the tag by a split second was Bryce Harper.
Yeah, you were watching the ball down the corner. I was watching Bryce Harper run, and he had to turn it on the last 5 steps to get in there. He thought that was an easy double, right? Down the left field line. Great play by Elliot Ramos on the carom off the wall. He fielded it perfectly and made a nice throw into second base. That was close.
His foot hit the bag a split second before the tag was applied by Arias. But now runner in scoring position. Here is Alex Bohm. Tall, strong, right-handed hitter. Lots of power. And the right-hander Hauser to the plate. A called strike. Got the low strike on the outside with a sinker. And it is 0-1. They're showing the replay and as to how close that was again. At second base. Could hardly be closer with the guy being safe. Here's the set and the 1-strike pitch. Swing, ground ball to third to his left. Chapman, he's got it. Here's the throw to first. Inning over. 1 hit, 1 left for the Phillies. Now the Giants will be coming up with Adames, Arise, and Chapman. Phillies nothing. Giants coming up on the Liberty Group. Protect your assets. Giants Radio Network.
Now back to the Orange and Black on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
Now the Giants, and a first pitch called strike. A 98-mile-an-hour fastball from the Phillies' big rookie, Andrew Painter, 6 feet 7 inches tall. Now he pitches, and there's a drive into center field, but just over to his right a little bit to make the catch is Crawford, another young guy. The pitcher will be 22 for another 4 days. On Friday, Andrew Painter will turn 23. First-round draft choice 5 years ago, 13th player in the country chosen in the draft. And the center fielder, Justin Crawford, he's 22. And he was also a first-round draft choice the next year. So here is Arias, left-handed batter, and he takes a called strike. 0-1.
Son of former big leaguer Carl Crawford.
Carl Crawford, excellent player, incredible speed. Now the pitch, and it's just off the outside. I remember when he first came up, and nobody knew about the Tampa Bay Rays, and nobody even in the Tampa Bay area seemed to hardly ever watch him. Nobody was ever at their ballpark. Here's a change up in the dirt on the inside. Almost hit Arias in the foot. The count goes to 2-1. But I remember seeing all these stolen bases that Crawford was getting, and I asked about him. Now the pitch is low, ball 3. And several scouts told me, well, there's nobody faster than him, man. He is just unbelievably fast. So Carl Crawford, who had a long career with the Rays and then was still there when they actually got good and made it to the World Series. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a line drive into right field. Just past the dive of the second baseman Bryson Stott. Hard hit low liner by Arias, and the Giants have their first hit. And Matt Chapman will come up. So you think Justin Crawford is as fast as his old man?
We'll see. Hitting 321.
So here is Chapman now. Right-handed hitter, and he takes a fastball in there for a called strike. 97 miles an hour. Painter, this is his second big league game. Now he pitches. Chapman takes, low and outside for a ball. And his first one was in Philadelphia, and Phillies fans were just, they knew all about him. They were eagerly anticipating his debut game, and they cheered lustily on every strike. 1-1 pitch, and that is low and in for a ball. He faced the Washington Nationals, went 5 1/3, gave up 1 run and 4 hits, and only 1 walk. He had 8 strikeouts. And the Phillies won the game 3-2. 2-1 pitch. Chapman takes outside, and it's 3-1.
He's the biggest pitching prospect the Phillies have had since Cole Hamels. That's what they were comparing his debut to. He was a 19-year-old phenom. He's 22 now, and he had Tommy John surgery, so it's been a long road back.
3-1 pitch. Chapman fouls this one back over the screen. And we remember Cole Hamels, and it wasn't his first start. He pitched on a Sunday night nationally televised game in this ballpark. But it was the first start that same night of a guy named Tim Lincecum. And he and Hamels, two of the outstanding young pitchers in the game, were matched up that night. Now the pitch. Line drive up the middle. Base hit into center field. Man, he hit that one at 113 miles an hour. Right over the middle of the diamond. Rice to second and holding. The second base umpire, Todd Tishner, the crew chief, he had to jump out of harm's way. That was boring in on him there.
We're watching the replay on the monitor. It was a knuckleball, and it was a tracer right at him. Just got out of the way. Great swing by Chapman.
So the Giants have 2 men on with 1 man out, and here is Rafi Devers. Devers got an RBI hit yesterday on a pop-up. Left-handed batter, swing and a miss. And it was a fastball. And I say fastball, it was thrown really hard, but it had a little break on it at 91 miles an hour. More likely his slider. Right in the hands. The pitch now. And he goes down for one, chops it right up the first base line, and it just goes foul. From here, our angle, we had the worst angle imaginable. Unlike the first base umpire, Clint Vondrack, who's right there on the line. From here, it looked like it hopped right over the bag, but apparently it was in foul ground as it passed the bag. Quickly 0-2 to Rafi Devers. That last one, it was down at 98 miles an hour. Painter with 2 men on throws very high. And that was a high, hard one at 99 miles an hour. With 1 out, Rice hit a single to right, and then Chapman followed with a single to center. 2 men on, 0-0. And there is another ball, very high. That one at 98 miles an hour from Painter.
He got 3 strikeouts in his debut on the split change. It's a pitch he developed in the offseason. After a high fastball, let's see if he tries it here.
Now the timeout is asked for by Rafi Devers. Now he stands back in. Opens up his stance wide open. Here's Painter. Set. The tall right-hander ready. He throws. Swing, and it's right into the hands of a bloop. Shallow left field. Bohm goes down the line and makes the catch. It just would not come down. Bohm sprinting down the line. And I don't know that the left fielder, Marsh, was going to be able to get to it. It was Bohm or nothing, but he did catch up to it. And right on the, it might have dropped foul if he hadn't caught it, but it was right along the line in fair ground when he reached up to catch it. So Devers pops out, and here is Elliot Ramos. And he takes very high at 96 miles an hour. A 2-seamer there from Painter. Giants nothing, Phillies nothing. The Giants with 2 men on, 1 man out, or 2 out now. They had 1 man out. Now the pitch. Ooh, ouch. And apparently that hit off the bat as he was intending not to swing at it. And he started to move out of the way, and the ball glanced off the bat. He actually started to turn to his left, and the bat came down and hit off the barrel into the bat. Now Ramos takes outside. Big sweeping breaking ball at 84 miles an hour. 2-1 to Elliot Ramos. The Giants looking for a big hit here to jump ahead against the rookie Painter. A rise at second, Chapman at first. Now a ball outside. That was a 90-mile-an-hour slider. So it's 3-1. The left-handed hitting Jung Hoo Lee is on deck.
You miss with 2 sliders. If you're Elliot Ramos, you're gearing up for a heater here.
This guy known for throwing a high fastball, which Elliott can have a hard time laying off of. 3-1 count. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Well, he was geared up for it, but he didn't get it. 97 miles an hour on the outside. So now the runners will be ready to take off with the pitch. Rice at second, Chapman at first. There they go. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Well, he got 2 fastballs in a row and couldn't get either one of them. That one 98 miles an hour. So 2 men left on. The Giants with 2 hits. Nothing. As we move to the second inning now, Hauser back to the mound on the Liberty Group Protect Your Assets Giants Radio Network.
Now back to Giants Gloves Poppin' on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
There's a sinker for a called strike to Bryson Stott, the left-handed batting second baseman for the Phillies, against Adrian Hauser, the veteran right-hander who delivers, and another sinker in there. Strike 2 called. 0-2 the count. Both pitches called strikes. The first one was down. That one was on the outside. 0-2 the count. Hauser throws. Swing and a foul. That one looked like it was just right down the middle of the plate on an 0-2 pitch.
Sometimes those surprise you with 2 strikes. It's the last place you're looking.
2-strike pitch again. High fastball, hit high and foul, and out of play into the lower deck. Still 0-2.
This is a Taco Bell second inning. Stop by your local Taco Bell to try their new Cantina chicken menu. And remember to live Moss.
Hauser throws. Curve bounced softly up the first base side. Over to his right to get it is Devers. Underhanded feed. Hauser covering in time. Out number 1. 1 away. Let's pause for station identification now. This is the Liberty Group Protect Your Assets Giants Radio Network.
This is the flagship of Giants baseball. Double play! KNBR and KNBR FM San Francisco, the sports leader.
Giants nothing, Phillies nothing. Inning number 2, 1 out, nobody on. Here is Adolis Garcia. And he takes just off the outside. Garcia used to be with the Texas Rangers, and he has a World Series ring as a member of the Rangers. But had his worst year last year. Now he takes right at the knees on the outside corner for a called strike. That was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball right on the edge. 1 ball, 1 strike. Garcia, lots of power. The pitch to him, swing and a miss. He's also a very free swinger, and that was a good changeup. Some sinking action on it. It was down, and he took a shot at it and was a little bit out front. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
3 for 12 on the road trip with a home run in Colorado.
1-2 pitch. And the slider is low and outside for a ball. Adonis Garcia not only helped the Rangers and Bruce Bochy, their manager at the time, win a World Series, but he was the MVP in the League Championship Series that year against Houston. 2-2 pitch. And that fastball is low. He got a little extra on that one. 97 miles an hour. Did we know that he threw 97-mile-an-hour fastballs?
No, it says here it's averaged 94 this year. He's feeling frisky.
3-2 pitch. Garcia swings. It's a high drive to right. Going back is Lee onto the warning track. Now moves a little bit to his left as the wind plays some tricks with it. And right in front of the third archway makes the catch. And that one, Garcia may well wish that he had hit it in Philadelphia or almost anywhere else, but here on a night like this.
Yeah, welcome to San Francisco, Adolis Garcia. Yeah, that's 10 rows back at Citizens Bank.
Jumped off his bat at 100 miles an hour. And it was not that high. 33 degree was the angle. That's kind of a home run launch angle. There's a ground ball to second. Charged by a Rice. He's got it and throws out Marsh, who has gone on 1 pitch. Inning over. We go to the last of the second now. Jung-Hoo Lee will be coming up with the Giants. It's 0-0 on the Liberty Group Protect Your Assets Giants Radio Network.
This is Giants Baseball on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
Jung-Hoo Lee, and he takes ball 1 from the very tall, hard-throwing right-hander, Andrew Painter. Lee, left-handed hitter, trying to get his bat going. Now he takes a slider. Man, that's hard, sharp, late break there, and it broke down and in and out of the strike zone. 2-0. Lee opened up stance. Here it comes, and he bounces a foul off to the right. That was a fastball. It looked like that had some cutting action, moving in on the hands as well at 95 miles an hour. 2-1 the count. 0-0 score. And there is a changeup. That dips low. 3-1. Jung-Hoo Lee. And Tony Vitello talked about him before the game, the Giants manager. And the season opening slump. 3-1 pitch. Swing, and he hits a high pop fly. Shallow left. Now the wind starts to carry it back a little bit and towards center field, backing up and moving to his left. Marsh makes the catch. 1 away. And Vitello, his take on Jung-Hoo Lee, that he says, a lot of people could say this, I suppose, who are not hitting well, but he feels like Jung-Hoo Lee, amongst the Giants anyway, his not getting hits, but he's hitting the ball hard more often than anybody. Here's Encarnacion, and he takes the ball. You ever go through spots like that where you thought, man, I'm squaring the ball up all the time and I'm getting nothing for it?
Yeah, the worst thing you could do is change your stance or change your routine when that happens.
Encarnacion takes a ball too low, 2-0.
A lot of guys are not getting hits. They're not getting the results, but the process is good. But then you start to doubt yourself and you start to tinker with your stance, and next thing you know, you're lost. So just stick with it. Keep working hard. The hits will fall.
2-0 pitch. Fouled back to the screen. Well, that was a breaking ball, that big sweeping breaking ball, 86 miles an hour, to the outer part of the plate where he was able to get his arms extended, but he fouled it straight back. 2-1 the count. Painter throws, and he pours that fastball right down the middle. Called strike 2. 97 miles an hour. 2-2 the count. Here's Painter throwing. And a little bit low with a hard slider. That slider, that's really nasty. Sharp, Nen-like late break. Fans of a certain age will get that.
That's a tremendous comp right there. We're just missing smoke on the water is all.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. In on the hands, a broken bat roller hits soft to the short. Charged by Turner. On the run, he pulls the first baseman off the bag. The tag is made by Harper with Encarnacion going by, but safe is the call by Clint Vondrack. Well, he broke the bat, and he's a big old guy, but he hustled down the line, and he got the hurried throw by Turner, and it was offline.
Girard's sneaky fast. He's got those long strides. And when you break your bat, you can do two things. You can pout and jog to first, or you can put your head down and run hard, and he did the latter. Nice job.
Now here is Bader, and he drives one down the right field line, deep into the corner. It is foul. Bummer, dude. It looked so good off the bat, and it just would not stay fair. I mean, get an actual round baseball next time.
Yeah.
So they gave Girard a hit.
Well, he'll take it. I didn't think it was. The Giants will take hits any way they can get them right now. So if it's because of the official score, we'll take it.
I was a little surprised there. Bader with a count of 0-1. Bader hurting for a hit. Here is the big right-handed throwing. And a check swing, and the ball skims off the bat into the glove of the catcher. Foul ball. Strike 2. Bader so far with 4 hits in 34 at-bats, including a double and a homer. Now he takes very high, 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Andrew Painter.
John, maybe the scorekeeper said, wow, he was really hustling right there. I'm going to give him a hit for the hustle. Even though you and I didn't think it was one.
Here's the pitch now. Bader hits a liner into right center, but over to his right a bit goes Garcia, makes the catch, and then he throws in to the first baseman, Bryce Harper, with Encarnacion going back to the bag. So 2 down. And here is Bailey. I was going to go into my speech about the forced error, and all errors are not equal. And a guy who's hustling maybe can force a bad throw. Here's a called strike. The speech is not about, therefore he should get a hit, though. I'm just saying I think it should help his on-base percentage if it's a forced error.
Well, that was a forced hit.
So that one, they just gave the whole thing. Here's a swing, and Bailey hits a fly ball into center. Circling around, not coming in quickly. Crawford, the young center fielder, makes the catch. Bailey is gone. Inning over. 1 hit, 1 left. 0-0 as we move to the third. Real Muto. Then the young Crawford and the leadoff man Turner coming up on the Liberty Group. Protect your assets. Giants Radio Network.
For This is Giants Baseball on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
Here we go to the third inning. The Phillies with their 8th place hitter, JT Realmuto, the veteran catcher, and Adrian Hauser pitches inside ball one with a 94-mile-an-hour sinker. Realmuto, right-handed batter, with the young center fielder Justin Crawford on deck. 0-0 game. Now there is a called strike, a slider on the outside. Giants with 3 hits, the Phillies with 1. Bryce Harper hit a 2-out double in the first inning. Now the pitch. That's in there. Strike 2 called. Giants got 2 1-out singles in a row, a Rice and Chapman in the first inning, but they were stranded. And then a 1-out single. It was called a single. An infield hit for Encarnacion in the second. 1-2 pitch, and the changeup is in the dirt for a ball. Here's the leaderboard update, sponsored by Bank of America, proud sponsor of the Junior Giants, helping inspire tomorrow's leaders on and off the field. The Dodgers atop the National League West by plenty. Swing, ground ball to third, over to his left. Chapman's got it, spins around. Here's the throw to first, and it, with Devers stretching out for it, and I don't know if he just missed it or it ticked off his glove. It looked like it. Then he hit the runner going by. Realmuto, who is probably the fastest running catcher in the game, and they'll score that one as a hit.
Chapman went spin move, threw it kind of back toward home plate. Devers stretched early, so he was kind of handcuffed with his feet, if that makes any sense. He stretched a little bit early. If you don't stretch that early, it allows you to come off the base and maybe tag the runner as he goes by, but he committed, and it was too late.
Not Justin Crawford, and he takes a ball too low. Well, they've had a lot of plays like that, of stretching too early this week. 1 ball, no strikes to Crawford. Turner, the leadoff man, is on deck. 0-0 score. Third inning. The ball in the dirt, it bounces away from Patrick Bailey. It takes a high hop, ricochets off his glove, and hits high up on the backstop. Drops right to the ground at the base of the backstop. He's got to go back and get it. So the wild pitch moves Realmuto into scoring position now. In fact, I think there were 2 of those kind of plays with Hauser pitching last Wednesday in San Diego. Now the 2-0 pitch, and that is too high. 3-0. The right-handed batting Turner is on deck.
A lot of times on that play, you'll see a first baseman, when it's up the line, they'll back off the bag into foul territory and actually take that throw on the backside of the bag.
3-0 pitch, and that's low and inside. A 4-pitch walk. So Justin Crawford gets the walk. Crawford, who is 22 years old, a first-round draft choice 4 years ago, came into the game hitting .321. Only his second walk, though. So here's Turner, 2 men on, nobody out. Trey Turner. And he swings and rolls one foul on a curveball. First pitch curve, and that had him way off balance.
Well, this is where, if you're the Giants, you have to fight the here we go again mentality. Based on things aren't going well for your ball club, you're 3-7 out of the start, you've played sloppy defense, you see a play like that, and everybody can start thinking that, and you have to dig down deep and fight that right now.
1 strike pitch, swing, and a high pop-up off the third base side, foul ground, starting over Chapman, but this one will go well back into the lower deck, out of play. Trey Turner hit a fly ball to shallow center his first time. Turner, 32 years old now. He's a guy not just with great speed, but he's got power. Turner has not homered this year. He's hit 4 doubles, though. The pitch to him, little tapper, foul just off to the left. Came back with a sinker down at 95 miles an hour. Giants nothing, Phillies nothing. The Phillies with a threat. All their big hitters are lined up in a row now. With Turner at the plate, Schwarber is on deck, then Harper. Here's Hauser. He delivers. And a slider is a little bit low off the outside. 1-2. Trey Turner, squared up stance. Long and lean. Hauser delivers. Swing, and he is hit a shot deep down the left field line, and foul. And that one had, I think, the distance to be a home run, but it was 25, 30 feet foul. 1-2. Well, Hauser will try it again. It's in a jam here. 2 men on, nobody out. The pitch. And the Giants, the pitch is called a ball, and Patrick Bailey is going to appeal that or challenge it.
Catcher is challenging to call a ball.
I like this. I don't like this.
The pitch is confirmed. It is a ball. San Francisco has 1 challenge remaining.
That ended up about a half an inch off the inside corner of the plate at the knees. Well, if you get it, the guy's out. 2-2 the count. The pitch comes in. Ground ball, foul just off to the left. That was another sinker. And I mean, we'd like to get him. We could get him to hit a ground ball right at somebody. That could be ideal. Tough to double up though with his speed. Real Muto at second, Crawford at first. Nobody out. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a changeup.
A nasty changeup. Bottom dropped out. Looked like a strike the whole way for Turner until he committed to it and started his swing. Big pitch. Now you're a ground ball away.
Schwarber, the big power hitter, struck out his first time. Left-handed batter. And a check swing, accidental foul off to the left on a slider. 0-1 the count to Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber with 56 home runs last year. Only Ryan Howard has ever hit more homers in a season in the long history of the Phillies. He hit 58 one year. Now a little tapper foul back behind the plate, and he was out front on that changeup. Just barely got a piece of it.
Okay, maybe a show him a fastball here, way out of the zone, and go back to the changeup. Don't be in a hurry if you're Hauser, but Schwarber's struggling with the off speed early in the season. He hasn't seen a fastball yet.
2 strikes to count to Kyle Schwarber. 2 men on, 1 man out. Nothing score. And there is a changeup off the outside, taken by Schwarber. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Real Muto led off the inning with an infield hit. Crawford walked. 2 men on, 1 man out now. Nothing game. Adrian Hauser to the plate. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a slider running down and in. Man, nasty. Hard slider. And Schwarber, when he saw what was taking place there, having started his swing, he tried to take it back. It was too late.
Too late. So 3 changeups to a slider down and in. Beautiful sequence from Adrian Hauser.
And now here is Bryce Harper, who hit a double down the left field line his first time. Left-handed hitter, and he takes a changeup. High and away for ball 1. 2 men on, now with 2 men out. So he's gotten 2 big outs. The runners have not moved, but he's not out of it yet. One of the Phillies' very best hitters at the plate now. The pitch to Harper. Swing, a little slow chopper toward third. Charged by Chapman. Jump pivot, snap throw to first. Right there. And the inning is over. A single, a walk. 2 men on, nobody out, then the top of the order, and he gets through it. 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Nicely done by Hauser. 0-0, top of the order. Adames coming up on the Liberty Group Protect Your Assets Giants Radio Network.
back to Orange and Black Bats Kraken on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
Willie Adames takes the ball off the outside, a slider missing from Andrew Painter, the young phenom of the Phillies. 0-0 the score. Adames hit a fly ball to center his first time. Now he takes a little bit low on the inside. Two-seam fastball at 94 miles per hour. 2-0. Luis Arraez on deck. 0-0 game. There's a bouncer foul off to the left. That was another sinker down, and it was right over the plate. But he bounced it softly, foul. It might have been a little bit below the knees as well. 2-1 pitch. Swing, line drive, over the head of Bohm at third. Down the left field line it goes. Kicks off the sidewall. Ricochets over to Marsh, but easily into second with a stand-up double is Willie Adames.
Get into a count, do some damage. And a four-seam fastball in the inner third. Nice piece of hit. I wouldn't be surprised to see Luis Arraez bunt right here. What do you think?
Well, we know he's a good one. Adames with his third double of the year. Arraez got a single his first time. He ripped a liner into right. Left-handed batter. And he takes a called strike. Giants have made Painter work hard the first two innings. He had a 24-pitch first inning, threw 17 more in the second. Now Arraez swings a line drive up the middle. Base hit into center field. Adames had no idea where anybody was there. Now here comes a throw in. It's cut off near the mound, and into second goes Arraez. Man, Adames was turning and racing back to second, and there was nobody within 30 or 40 feet of that ball.
Oh, it was right up the middle. Bryson Stott was playing Arraez to pull with the runner on second, nobody out, and Adames scrambled back toward the bag, and Hector Borg had to stop him at third base. Nice piece of hitting by Arraez. Better hustle getting to second base. That's what I'm talking about. Aggressive baseball on the base pass. Nicely done.
Now here's Matt Chapman, the infield back, normal depth. Chapman swings, hits a high drive into right center field, deep out into the wide open spaces, way back there, and it is over the head of Crawford. It bounces to the 415 side. Adames scores. Here comes Arraez to score, and it's a triple from Matt Chapman. He took on the big part of the yard and got it over the head of the speedy Justin Crawford. The Giants have a 2-0 lead. Kind of a hanging curveball there from Painter. And the Phillies are going to have a Habeas Law mound visit. The pitching coach, Caleb Cotham, will go out as things have started to go south here for the rookie right-hander.
That was a curveball, and Chapman was sitting on it. Triples alley, baby. I'm telling you, how do you turn things around as a ball club? You do little things that spark a club. Arraez with a single, taking second base when nobody thought he was going to go to second. Harper stayed back on the cutoff, fielded it on a hop, threw it weakly to second base, and here comes Arraez around first, flying into second. Probably woke the whole third base dugout up. Matt Chapman 2 for 2 now with a couple of RBIs. The Giants are 2-0 this year when they score first.
So now 2 runs in. Chapman at third, nobody out. The Phillies bring the infield in for Rafi Devers. And Painter with the high set and the pitch. And that's outside. Only the second start in the young career of Andrew Painter. And he gives up double the number of runs on that one swing that he gave up in his whole first start combined. Now the swing, hard ground ball, foul up the first base side. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike.
A lot of times as a young kid in your first major league start, you can ambush to the league. And then video of you goes all over baseball, and sometimes you can pick something up on somebody, and their second start's way harder than their first start.
1-1 pitch. Ground ball into the hole at short. Diving to his right to get it is Turner. He throws over to first in time. And that was interesting. On that ground ball, Chapman did not break for the plate. And he waited, and as soon as Turner made the dive and got it, Then he went back to the bag. I was really surprised. The ball was in the hole, but with the infield in, he's not running on contact. So I guess that was the play before it happened. And he did not score, although with the headlong dive by Turner, you feel like with Chapman's speed that he would have scored. There's ball one now to Elliot Ramos. Runner at third. 2 runs in for the Giants, a 2-0 lead. Ramos swings and bloops one. Hits falling into center. Base hit. No matter. Ramos gets him home anyway. Chapman scores. 3-0 Giants.
The line is moving. And doesn't this feel good? 65 miles an hour on the exit velocity for Elliot Ramos. Little lob wedge to center. The Giants are up 3-0.
It was not a high pop-up, just a little bloop. But the infield was in, so that cinched the deal. Now here is Jung-Hoo Lee. 3 runs home. Still only 1 out in the inning, and Lee takes ball 1. Jung-Hoo hit a fly ball to left center his first time. Right side of the infield opened up with the first baseman on the bag. That's Bryce Harper holding against Ramos. Middle infield double play depth. And here's a curveball. And that is too low. 2-0 the count. 3 runs in for the Giants. It got started with the Adames double. Then a Rice with a single. And then the triple by Matt Chapman with 2 runs scoring. And with 1 out, Ramos with the single to center to get him home. Throw to first. And Ramos is back to the bag. Painter sets, throws outside, and it's 3-0. Slider missing the corner. Gerard Encarnacion is on deck. 3-0 pitch, and that fastball in for a strike at 95. Now, when the game started, it was 97 to 99. In this inning, his fastball had been 94, 95. 3-1 the count. Here it comes. Swing and a hard ground ball to second. Should be 2. Stott to second for 1. Back to first. Double play. 94-mile-an-hour sinker. And Lee hooked it right on 1 quick hop to the second baseman. The Giants are retired, but they get 3 and a 3-0 lead as we head to the 4th inning on the Liberty Group. Protect your assets. Giants Radio Network.
What if
to third his first time. Tall, powerful, right-handed batter. Now he takes a sinker a little bit off the outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Giants have 7 hits already against the Phillies rookie, Painter. Here it is, and that is low for a ball. 2-1 the count. Phillies have 2 hits against Hauser. Hauser had to work hard to get through that 3rd inning, give up a single and then a walk. And then the top of the order came up with nobody out. Now he catches the outside corner with that little 2-seamer coming back to the plate. Called strike 2. Stott, the left-handed hitter, is on deck. Giants 3, Phillies nothing. 4th inning. There's a swing and a soft liner into right center. Base hit. So Bohm is aboard. MLB Plus is new for 2026. Stream MLB Network 24/7 and select out-of-market games every week. Plus, live radio broadcasts of every game. Game Day 3D, big inning and minor league action. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today. Now Bryson Stott, left-handed hitter. He grounded to first his first time, and he jumps away from a pitch down and in that goes all the way to the backstop. And over to second base goes Bohm on the wild pitch. Bailey couldn't even get a glove on that one. That one really got away.
No.
And looking at the replay, he got the glove on it. It tipped the very edge of the glove. So now runner at second. 1 ball, no strikes to Stott. Hauser comes in. Curveball, low, 2-0. I'm John Miller along with FP Santangelo. Dave Fleming is on assignment at the Masters. Hauser delivers. And he's right over the outside corner for a called strike. 2-1. Ideally, he'd have a fairly quick inning. He had thrown 49 pitches in the first 3. But the Phillies have got several grinders in that lineup. 2-1 pitch, swing, and a line drive to center, shallow. Here comes Bader on the move, makes the catch, and throws back to second. Bohm scurries back safely. So Stott hit a soft liner into shallow center. Bader he was playing deep, and he had to come rushing in and made that two-handed catch chest high. So now 1 out. Here is Adolis Garcia, powerful right-handed hitter. He hit one hard to deep right that got caught on the warning track by Lee, and a big swing and a miss on a curveball. 0-1.
You don't have to throw him a strike right here. Runner in scoring position. He's going to be real aggressive. I mean, he's real aggressive usually, but he wants to drive in this run. Don't throw him a strike.
He is a believer that if there are RBIs out there, that's what he's paid for, to drive those guys in. He's not looking to get a walk. He's looking to drive the guy in. Garcia, slightly open stance. And Hauser ready. Throws. Ground ball on the fist to shortstop. Charged by Adames. He's got it. Over to first for the out. Garcia retired, and moving to third on the soft grounder is Bohm. So 2 down. And now Marsh will come up.
Yeah, good pitch. Sinker on the hands. He knew he was swinging. Didn't throw him a strike. Got a weak ground ball to short.
So he followed your advice.
He did. He heard me. Be careful here. This is their hottest hitter.
Randy Marsh. Left-handed batter. And a curveball. Ooh, called a ball. Marsh took that one. And it was kind of a ball. I think it could have been called a strike. Now the 1-0 pitch. Check swing on a changeup low, and the count goes to 2-0.
You think as a catcher, John, if you challenge early and miss it, that you're apprehensive to do it again?
I would think so. And remember, that happened to Bailey. What was it, the 3rd inning or the 2nd inning? There's a little ground ball up the first base side. Devers has it, underhands it to Hauser covering. In time for the out. The leadoff single, followed by a wild pitch, but Bohm is stranded. 4 shutout innings now for Hauser. The Giants ahead 3-0 with Encarnacion coming up in the last of the 4th on the Liberty Group. Protect your assets. Giants Radio Network.
We are the home for all who don the orange and black.
Goodbye! The Giants take the lead.
KNBR 104.5 at 6/8.
I don't believe it.
The sports leader. There's nothing like Giants baseball on the radio. You're listening to the Giants replay on KNBR 104.5 and 680, the sports leader. Back to Orange and Black Bats Kraken on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
Now the Giants into the last of the fourth, leading 3-0. And here is a little slider off the outside to Encarnacion. Ball one. Encarnacion got credit for an infield hit his first time. Right-handed hitter. And Painter, the young right-hander, pitches off the outside with a 95-mile-an-hour sinker. Bader is on deck. Now, fastball ran right into the hands. A lot of movement on that 94-mile-an-hour sinker. So Encarnacion with a count of 2-1. That was a 2-0 pitch. He's looking fastball, and he got one, but it had a lot of movement. He might have ended up out of the zone. Now here is a slider on the outside for a called strike 2.
You break your bat first time up on a fastball in. Second time up, you're looking in there.
2-2 the count. The pitch on the way. And another slider fouled off to the right. And I say slider because he's throwing that slider around 89, 90, 91 miles an hour. That one 84 miles an hour. More of the sweeping breaking ball. Two and two pitch. And the fastball is off the outside. And that one 96. They continue to work him hard. The pitch now. Swing and a foul high in the air off to the right and well back out of play into the lower deck. 3-2. And this has been a 7-pitch at bat already for Encarnacion. And for Painter, that was pitch number 65. Nobody out here in the fourth inning. He delivers. Swing and it's bounced foul off to the left. More movement on that sinker. Running to the inside, but down around the knees.
Fight him.
Ninth pitch of the battle. Swing, and he bounces that one foul.
See, but these are the at-bats that Tony Vitello's looking for. Doesn't necessarily have to end up in a hit, but go up there and compete. Right now, Gerard is competing.
This is the 10th pitch to Gerard Encarnacion of this at-bat. Now a swing, ground ball to short, charged by Turner. He slings it over to first in time. Well, it was a 10-pitch battle, and he ends up losing the battle on a ground out. But Painter, with one out in the fourth inning, is already at 68 pitches. Now here is Harrison Bader. Bader hit a fly ball to right center his first time, and he takes low for ball one. Giants 3, Phillies nothing. Giants got all 3 of their runs in the third inning. Painter delivers, and a changeup bounced foul off to the left into the far end of the dugout over there. I say changeup. I guess he throws a splitter.
Split change, same thing. Painter 0 for 13 on the homestand. He wants to hit bad.
Now he swings and grounds one to the right side. He's got a hit.
Did you see what he did going to first? He threw his arms in the air.
He was enormously grateful. He didn't hit it all that hard. The second baseman, Stott, was shaded toward the middle, and Stott had no chance to get back to it.
He put his hands out and looked straight up to the heavens like, thank you, God, I needed that.
And now Patrick Bailey. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Big swing and a foul back to the screen on a first pitch changeup. Bailey flied out to shallow center his first time. Well, Bailey might want some prayers answered as well. He's had 3 hits and 28 at bats so far this year. For Bader, that was his 5th hit in his 36th at bat. And as you said, his first here at his new home ballpark. First baseman on the bag with him, Bryce Harper. 1 strike offering. Hard ground ball through that opening at first. Base hit to right field. Bader speeds around second, digging for third. And the Giants have runners at first and third with one out.
Well, maybe you can credit these two hits to Gerard Encarnacion, who had the 10-pitch at-bat and made Painter work. All of a sudden, the guys behind him benefit, and that's how you turn things around.
Bader getting aboard with the single. So Harper was playing on the bag with him. And just the way they teach it, Bailey pulled it through that opening. Just an easy ground ball to first if there was no runner over there to be held on. Now Adames. And he swings and hits a foul back into the second deck. Strike one. Pitch number 74 of the evening for the right-hander, Andrew Painter. Already 16 just in this inning.
A little movement in the Phillies bullpen all of a sudden.
Adames is flied out to center. Then he hit a double leading off the third. That was how the Giants began a 3-run rally. They lead 3-0 now. And Adames, check swing on a ball low. 1-1 the count. Change up there from Painter. And they've got someone throwing out there. A left-hander. Here's Painter to the plate. And he's low at 95 miles per hour. The Phillies have Tim Meza warming up in their bullpen. A lefty. 2-1 to Willie Adames, trying to get Bader home from third. Middle infield, double play depth. Now a ball very high. 3-1. Now you wonder, he's at 77 pitches and he's only got one out in the fourth inning. That's a lot of pitches in a fairly short amount of time.
A lot of high stress pitches too.
3-1 pitch. Swing and a high foul out of play. Threw him a 95-mile-an-hour sinker there, right out over the plate. 3-2 the count. Adames, 1 for 2 in the game. A Rice on deck. Second baseman Stott is almost right up the middle. 3-2 pitch. Way outside and high. He walked it. And now the bases are loaded. And he is at 79 pitches in 3 1/3 innings.
Rob Thompson hasn't made a move yet, the Phillies manager. He's staying in the dugout. I think he's sending his pitching coach out there right now for a little timeout. Looks like, at least. JT Realmuto going to the mound.
Well, the Giants had the lefty coming up, a Rice, then Chapman, a righty, and then another lefty. So, I mean, the situation's set up here to bring the lefty in now, and now Realmuto goes out. So the pitching coach has not gone out, so maybe they are stalling for time here.
They are. Rob Thompson is thinking about it right now. And he's thinking about staying in the dugout. Here we go.
So Arise will come up. Painter, in his first big league start a week ago, went 5 1/3 and threw 84 pitches. Now the base is loaded, and Arise asks for timeout, and he's talking to the plate umpire about it. Now Rice stands in. He's 2 for 2 in the game. The pitch to him. Low and inside. Ball one. The 80th pitch thrown by Painter. And he has thrown 22 pitches in just this inning. Has only one out, and the base is loaded. Middle infield, double play depth. 1-0 pitch. Swing and the ground ball. Foul. Pass first. And down the right field line. With the bases loaded, Harper is playing a normal set over there. And he's maybe, 25, 30 feet off the line. So he pulled that one, but just pulled it a little bit too much. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 men on, 1 man out. Here it is. And low. 2-1. The Giants have Bader at third, Bailey at second, Adames at first. A 3-0 lead. Painter to the plate. Swing and a foul hit high in the air off the third base side back into the second deck. And it's 2-2.
Yeah, that was 97, so he reached back there. His velocity's been dropping, as John said earlier.
So he got a little reach back on that one. 2-2 the count. From the stretch, Painter throws. Swing and a ground ball foul on the first base side. Came back that time with a curveball. Giants with a great opportunity here. Matt Chapman on deck. They have a 3-0 lead. They have the bases loaded. 1 out. 2-2 pitch. Swing. There's a high drive into deep right center field. Going back is Garcia at the warning track. He lunges and makes the catch right in front of the 6th archway. Tagging from third. Bader scores easily. The other runners who had gone halfway return. 4-0 Giants. That's a ball that's probably gone in Philadelphia or a few other ballparks as well. Not right into the depths of Triple's Alley out there, but pretty good shot on a cool windswept night.
Yeah, he was going back to the dugout with a big smile on his face. Welcome to Oracle Park, Luis Ariz. He thought he got that one.
Now here is Chapman. Chapman hit one out into that big Triple's Alley area. Beyond the center fielder, Crawford took a bounce and rattled around by the 4:15 marker. And 2 runs scored on his triple. Chapman is 2 for 2 in the game. 2 down. Bailey at second. Adames at first. 4-0 Giants. Now a ball too low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch number 87. Thrown by Painter. 87 pitches. And he's still working here in the 4th inning. A 1-1 pitch. Swing and a foul off to the right. 96-mile-an-hour sinker there.
Yeah, I'm going to go on record saying I really like Luis Ariz. I mean, what's not to like if you're a Giants fan about the way he started this season? Whether it's on offense, running the bases, the way he's played second base, he's done it all for this team so far.
Now the pitch. Too high to Chapman with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Ariz 2 more hits tonight and a sacrifice fly. Hitting .310. 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Swinging a slow roller to short. Charged by Trey Turner. Here's the throw to first. In time. Got him by a step. And the inning is over. So I'm sure that's the end of the night for Painter. And did a pretty good job limiting the damage. The Giants had him loaded with 1 out and got just 1 run. They lead 4-0 as we head to the 5th inning on the Liberty Group. Protect your assets, Giants Radio Network.
There's nothing like Giants baseball on the radio. You're listening to the Giants replay on KNBR 104.5 and 680, the Sports Leader. This is Giants baseball on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
JT Realmuto, first ball swinging, lines a single into center field. Over to his left, Harrison Bader toward right center a bit to pick it up. And Realmuto is now 2 for 2. Phillies with the Giants leading 4-0 now with their 9th place hitter, Justin Crawford, who walked his first time. Here is Hauser throwing. Swing and a line drive down the left field line. That's going to be a base hit. Speeding along the left field line, hustling over to cut it off is Ramos. And he spins and hurries it back to the infield. Stopping at third is Realmuto on a double by Crawford. Well, that's just a couple of pitches in this inning. And they already have runners at second and third with nobody out in the top of the order coming up. Great work there by Elliot Ramos to cut that ball off.
Yeah, that was a run if it gets by him. Full speed backhand and got rid of it quick.
Infield stays back normal depth for Trey Turner, who has flied out to shallow center and struck out. It's a ground ball past the mound, behind second, backhanded by Ariz. Here's the hurried throw to first, in time to get the speedy Trey Turner. Well, the Phillies are being ultra aggressive here against Hauser in this inning, and they've had 2 hits and have scored a run now. And an RBI for Trey Turner on a ball that was almost a comebacker, but it just did shoot by Hauser. Run batted in for Trey Turner. Now a runner at third. And here is Schwarber, and he takes the ball outside. Schwarber has struck out twice. That was a first pitch changeup. You've talked about that tonight,
excuse
FP.
me, John. I think he's sitting on it here.
Now a swing and a foul to the screen. That was a slider up. 1 ball, 1 strike. We've seen a lot of those changeups tonight.
Yeah, you almost have to here. You know what they're doing to you. You know what you haven't done. Sit on it.
1-1 pitch. And a fastball with a lot of movement running away and off the outside. 2-1. Shortstop Adames well over toward the middle for this left-handed power hitter. Now Hauser with a changeup, and he misses. And it's 3-1. 4-1 Giants in the 5th inning. Ground ball to the middle infield, or almost anywhere in the infield, we get a run home here. And Schwarber takes low, ball 4, a sinker. And he draws a walk. And he's a guy who always draws a lot of walks, has a very good feel for the strike zone. On the 1st and 3rd, here is Bryce Harper. They got all the big guys coming up right now, trying to jump right back into this game. Harper has hit a double along the left field line, and he has grounded out to third. Middle infield, double play depth. Harper, a left-handed batter. Swing, and he hammers one deep down the right field line, and that one is into the second archway. Coming in to score is Crawford. Going to third is Schwarber. The throw comes back in from Jung-Hoo Lee. Gloved out on the middle of the infield between second and the mound by Willie Adames. And it is 4-2. So Harper, another first pitch swing. And an RBI, 4-2 now. And Justin Message, the pitching coach, will come out. And the Phillies are a base hit away from tying this game.
Yeah, all of a sudden the game plan has changed for the Phillies. Aggressive early in the count. That was 113 off the bat of Bryce Harper for the double. Plan ahead for Mother's Day. Celebrate Mom at Oracle Park on Sunday, May 10th. The first 15,000 fans receive a quilted tote bag presented by UCSF Health as the Giants host the Pittsburgh Pirates. Find tickets at sfgiants.com/promotions.
Harper has 2 doubles in this game, and that was a screamer to right. High up into the archway out there. Now, Bohm. A one-hopper back to the mound. And Hauser goes after Schwarber, who had started down the line. Schwarber then turned and made a headlong dive back to third as Hauser then went ahead and made the throw to first. So Bohm goes after the first pitch here. Been 6 hitters in the inning. I think 5 of them have attacked that first pitch.
Let's see what Stott does right here. You got to think he's swinging.
Stott with runners at second and third. And he takes a curveball in there for a strike. That's a big out, getting Bohm, who had a chance to knock in a run even without a hit. A fly ball could have done it. Ground ball to one of the middle infielders. The infield was back. Now Stott bunts at it and bunts it foul on the third base side. Trying to push the bunt on the third base line and fouled it off. Strike 2.
His manager would rather he swing and try to tie the game versus bunting just one in.
4-2 Giants. And Hauser pitches. And the changeup is low. Realmuto singled on the first pitch. Crawford followed, doubling on the first pitch. Hauser to the plate. Swing, and there's a high drive into deep center. Going back is Bader. Now he squares up as he gets to the edge of the warning track and makes the two-handed catch. Could have been a lot worse. They had second and third, only 1 out with 2 runs already in, but they did not get any more. It's 4-2 Giants. Devers coming up in the last of the 5th inning on the Liberty Group Protect Your Assets Giants Radio Network.
and won a serious injury.
Now back to the Orange and Black on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
Now the Giants, last of the fifth inning, Tim Meza, veteran left-hander, in for the bullpen for the Phillies. And Rafi Devers stands in against him, left-handed batter. And he hits a ground ball to short, right to Trey Turner, who throws him out at first. One away, and Devers is 0 for 3.
Giants' next homestand features the best rivalry in baseball. Catch the Giants as they take on Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers at Oracle Park. That's April 21st through the 23rd. Get your Giants-Dodgers tickets right now at sfgiants.com/tickets.
Elliot Ramos now has struck out, and he singled home a run. He knocked in the Giants' third run of the third inning rally, and he takes a called strike. Giants have 4 runs on 9 hits, all against the young starter, Andrew Painter. There's a ball too high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I think it's worth mentioning that Meza's retired the last 19 hitters he faced this season.
How much longer could that go?
That's why I said it.
Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that is low for a ball. Tim Meza, M-A-Y-Z-A. He's only been in 4 games and pitched a total of 6 innings, so he's not one of those guys that comes in with 2 or 3 hitters and that's it. And there's a check swing by Ramos, and on appeal, Clint Vondrack, the first base umpire, says that was a swing. 2-2 the count. He's only allowed 1 hit in 6 innings and 1 walk. 2-2 pitch. He struck him out swinging, and he got him to chase a sinker running away and ended up well off the outside corner. That was a good 4 or 5 inches off the outside corner.
Jung-Hoo Lee could use a blooper somewhere for a hit.
Jung-Hoo Lee is flied out to left center and grounded into an inning-ending double play. And he shows bunt and takes too low. Ball 1. Third baseman Bohm came rushing down the line. The pitcher also started to crash toward the plate. And the second baseman Stott came rushing in. Lee, not bunting here, takes a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. That was interesting. The Bryce Harper, the first baseman, laid back, but the second baseman charged in when he showed bunt. Now ground ball right to short, and Turner over to first. Inning over. The Giants go down quickly. 3 up, 3 down, 2 ground outs and a strikeout against Meza. To the 6th inning now. Adolis Garcia will be coming up against Hauser. 4-2 Giants on the Liberty Group Protect Your Assets Giants Radio Network.
There's nothing like Giants baseball on the radio. You're listening to the Giants replay on KNBR 104.5 and 680, the sports leader. This is Giants baseball on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
There is ball 1 to Adolis Garcia. Now, Adolis Garcia may be historically the most aggressive of all the Phillies hitters in his career. Now he takes a called strike with a changeup. And yet, after we watched that 5th inning where almost the whole lineup was swinging at the first pitch, now Adolis Garcia has taken 2 in a row to start the inning. Now he takes a big hack on this one. 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count is 1-2. First 3 hitters for the Phillies in the 5th inning all swung at the first pitch, and 5 of the first 6. 1-2 pitch. Little bouncer hit softly toward short, cutting over from third. Chapman jump pivot, snap throw, got him. 1 away. On the Toyota out-of-town scoreboard, the Dodgers, it was a billed as a World Series rematch, a classic World Series. The Dodgers and the Blue Jays, and the final was the Dodgers 14 and the Blue Jays 2. Dodgers hit 5 home runs in that one. Now here's a called strike to Randy Marsh. The Brewers beat the Red Sox at Fenway Park 8-6. The Red Sox are 2-8. 1 strike pitch. Curveball lined into right field. It was not hit very hard by Marsh. And angling back and then making a dive for it was Devers, but it was still beyond him. And Marsh has a single to right. And that's the 7th hit for the Phillies. The Giants bullpen has action going. JT Realmuto will come up now. The Orioles beat the White Sox 2-1 in Chicago on the Toyota scoreboard. The Nationals over the Cardinals 9-6. There's a one hopper to third. Chapman to second one. A Rice to first. A double play. Realmuto, who runs well, and it was not even close at first base. We go to the last of the 6th. Encarnacion will be coming up. Giants leading the Phillies 4-2 on the Liberty Group Protect Your Assets Giants Radio Network.
Now back to the Orange and Black on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
Gerard Encarnacion against the new Phillies pitcher, the right-hander Jonathan Bolin. And a curveball dropping down and away for ball 1. Oh, that real sharp, biting breaking ball, 84 miles an hour. Encarnacion 1 for 2 in the game. Now he takes a called strike, 96 mile an hour sinker. The Giants back in the 60s had a hard-throwing right-hander named Bobby Bolin, but his name was spelled differently than Jonathan Bolin. And there's the ball outside. And Realmuto
The
taps.
catcher is challenging the called ball.
He taps the top of his helmet to challenge the call here. So it goes up on the ABS system, and that shows as a strike.
Philadelphia has 2 remaining.
So Realmuto was right over the outside corner.
The whole ball was in the box.
1-2 now to Encarnacion. And Bolin sets. He throws. Check swing. Did he go? No. Clint Vondrack, the first base umpire, on appeal, said no swing. 2-2 the count. Bolin, this Bolin spells his name Bowlan. Jonathan Bolin. 2-2 pitch. Sharp curve. And a check swing. Another appeal. No, says Vondrack again. No swing. 3-2. Second baseman Bryson Stott well over toward the middle. Shortstop Turner shaded a bit toward third. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He threw him that big sweeping breaking ball on a 3-2 count. And it worked.
Enjoy another youth baseball day with the Giants host the Marlins on Sunday, April 26th. The first 11,000 kids aged 14 and under will receive a youth flip-up sunglasses presented by Bank of America. Grab tickets at sfgiants.com/promotions.
Here is Harrison Bader. And he takes a ball outside. Bader got a 1-out single in the 4th inning. And that started a rally. He eventually scored the Giants' 4th run of the night. Giants lead 4-2. Last of the 6th. Bader takes a called strike. Now, Bolin's got that sweeping breaking ball, and it's nasty looking. Huge break on it. And that's the pitch he used to strike out Encarnacion. Not hittable. 1-1 pitch. Fastball. Woo. Called a ball, and no challenge on that one by Realmuto. 2-1 the count.
That slider you're talking about, John's off a 98 mile an hour fastball too.
Now Bolin throws, comes back at 98 miles an hour again in a swinging strike. That one, I think that had a lot of vert to it. It stayed up. It looked like a rising fastball. This guy's nasty. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball fouled, out of play, off to the right. And the science tells you that there's no such thing as a rising fastball, but some sink less than others. 2-2 the count, and he may have one of those. Here it is. Very high for a ball. 3-2. And the idea that the hitter's got to get a swing off so quickly. He sees the pitch coming in. He knows the path. But if it stays up an extra few inches than most, well, then he'll be under it. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a changeup. Wow. That was just as nasty as the other ones.
The changeup was 91.
And a lot of movement. It must have moved like a foot and a half coming down the middle and then broke off and missed off the inside corner of the plate. So now Bailey, 2 down. Bailey had a single his last time. And he takes high for a ball. Bowling, we're seeing all this filthy stuff from him. And his earned run average coming into this game for the year, 9.0.
Well, somebody figured him out.
Now the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a ground ball right to Harper at first. He waves off Bolin, runs it to the bag. The Giants are gone in order. Bolin had allowed 3 runs and 6 hits in 3 previous innings. Nothing at all here. Crawford, the 9th hitter, then the top of the order. Turner and Schwarber due up. We go to the 7th. The Giants ahead 4-2 on the Liberty Group. Protect your assets, Giants Radio Network.
We are the home for all who don the orange and black.
Goodbye! The Giants take the lead.
The Giants Radio Network. This is Giants Baseball on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
Big curveball that bounces in the dirt and a swinging strike one by young Justin Crawford. Left-handed hitter leading it off for the Phillies in the 7th inning against Hauser. Giants ahead 4-2. Now a high fastball and he swings at that one too. Strike 2. A curve in the dirt and then a fastball up around his shoulders and 2 quick strikes to Crawford. Leadoff man Trey Turner on deck. 4-2 Giants. Now here's a high fastball again, fouled back into the second deck. Giants have Ryan Barucki, a left-hander, up in their bullpen. Turner, the right-handed hitter, is on deck. Then 2 lefties after him, Schwarber and Harper. 4-2 Giants. Hauser. Now time is taken and out to the mound goes Patrick Bailey for a Habas Law mound visit. The first half of the 7th, as always, is sponsored by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Got lucky 7s in your future? Here's a pitch for your next weekend getaway. Head to Cache Creek Casino Resort. Your getaway awaits. Well, what came up all of a sudden with Bailey decided to run to the mound like that? Hadn't been out there much. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a base hit to right field. Well, whatever it was, it didn't work. Got him swinging at a curve in the dirt and a high fastball. 2 quick strikes. Another high fastball fouled away. Then this one a changeup, and he hooks it right through on an 0-2 count.
Yeah, he told you he was going to swing. He swung at 3 pitches in a row. And an 0-2 count, you threw one right down the middle. It's almost like Kevin Long, the Phillies hitting coach, said, you guys throw the game plan out the window. We're just going to go up there and hack. And that's what they've done the last couple of innings.
Trey Turner 0 for 3 with an RBI. He swings and on a first pitch, pops one into shallow center. Racing in, Bader still going. He can't get there. Pop up, and Bader was deep, and I didn't see him, what kind of a break he got on it, but he came sprinting in and just could never get there. So 2 men on, and a pop-up that ends up turning into a hit.
Bader took 3 steps toward right center field before he broke in, and that was the difference in the ball dropping or not. It wasn't a direct route. He didn't come straight in. He ran toward the gap and then corrected himself and came in.
Well, that is going to do it for Hauser and the left-handed Barucki with 2 left-handed hitters coming up. 2 really good ones, Schwarber and Harper. So Hauser departs, but he has a 4-2 lead, but This one goes to the bullpen now. And yesterday the bullpen had some issues. So it is Borucki, who's last year left-handers hit about 160 against him. So they've got two lefties who are not going to be lifted for pinch hitters. But right-handed hitters hit 338 against him. So here's Borucki to face Schwarber with Harper behind him, two ultra-talented left-handed hitters.
And then Bohm is the third hitter he'll face because he has to face three. So we'll see how this whole thing works out. He struggled against righties early in the season. Giants welcome the Baby Giraffe back to Oracle Park on Saturday, April 25th for Brandon Belt Celebration Day. Arrive early for a pregame ceremony honoring Belt and featuring additional Forever Giants. The first 20,000 fans receive a Brandon Belt Aloha shirt presented by Super Duper Burgers. Get tickets at sfgiants.com/promotions.
So 9 hits allowed by Hauser as he departs, and those two runners belong to him as well here in the 7th inning. Now, before the game, when we talked about the bullpen and the late innings, he did mention that the Phillies have 5 left-handed hitters, and we're talking about Tony Vitello, the manager, 5 left-handed hitters in their lineup. And the two best of those, Schwarber and Harper, the last couple of years anyway, they've been pretty well even, very balanced against both lefties and righties. Borucki himself, though, has been especially strong in his career against lefties. So 2 men on, nobody out. Schwarber, the hitter, the pitch to him. And just off the outside with a slider, and it's 1 ball to no strikes.
Lefties are 0 for 7 off Borucki this year. Righties 4 for 8 with 2 home runs.
Whoops. Now the sack. Tall lefty throws. Slider. And he's off the outside again. Schwarber has struck out twice, and then he drew a walk in the 5th inning. Crawford at second, Turner at first. 2 very fast runners. The pitch. Slider. Outside. 3-0. Bryce Harper on deck.
He's swinging right here. Green light all the way.
3-0 pitch. Too high. Wait a minute. And let's see if
Batters challenging the called strike.
he's taking off all his gear. He knows that was a ball.
that was very high, and it shows it's too high.
Pitches the ball.
On the ABS animation on the big high-def screen in center field here at Oracle Park. So Borucki walks the first left-handed hitter on 4 pitches. Now here's Harper. Infield double play depth. The pitch almost hits him. High and tight. So he has not thrown a strike yet. Bryce Harper's hit 2 doubles in this game and is grounded out. Borucki pitches. Swing and a ground ball into right field. Base hit. Coming in to score Crawford. Here comes Turner around third. He will score. Stopping at second is Schwarber. And Borucki does not get either one of those lefties out, and it is 4-4. And those 2 runs are charged to Hauser.
And the fastball up and in. Bryce Harper pulled his arms in and got the barrel to it, got it through the hole. Now he's got 3 hits, 2 doubles and a single, and a couple driven in.
Yeah, a couple right there, 3 total out of their 4. And now Bohm to try and put the Phillies ahead. The Giants, who had at one point a 4-0 lead, it is now 4-4. And there's still nobody out as Bohm takes ball 1. Bohm is grounded to third, singled, and hit back to the pitcher. And he rolls one foul off to the left of the plate. 1-1 the count. The Giants bullpen is busy again. There's another lefty on deck, though, Bryson Stott. One pitch, swing and a miss. Threw him a splitter, and that fooled him. 1-2 the count now. Schwarber at second, Harper at first. 4-4 the score. Now he's swinging a ground ball up the first base side where nobody is. Down the right field line it goes. Schwarber comes around to score. Here's the throw into second. Not in time. And Adames thought they got him at second. Stopping at third on the play, Harper. And the Phillies have a 5-4 lead, and the Giants are going to challenge this call. Jung-Hoo Lee charged hard into shallow right field along the line. And Bohm trying for the double.
Challenging the safe call at second base.
And you hear Todd Tishner, the crew chief, announcing the Giants challenging the safe call at second base.
I'll check out the replay on our monitors up here. Willy Adames got an in-between hop, and it's so close. Bohm looks like he stuck his leg in there. Adames put the tag right around the shin, but I don't know if he got him initially watching the replay up here. What do you think, John?
Well, I thought he got him at first, but then didn't look like he applied the tag yet. So if they call him safe at second, or they might say the call stands because the call in the field was safe. But he did kind of reach in for the tag instead of just dropping the tag down.
I definitely think it's worth a challenge to try to stop the bleeding here in the seventh.
He did kind of brush him on the, but the more I look at it, the more it looks like maybe the foot hit the bag before he got the tag on. It was funny because he did shoot the glove, kind of blindly shoot the glove down, and he missed him. And just
The call on the field stands. Runner safe. San Francisco loses their challenge.
so for Bohm, it is a double. Good throw by Lee. The throw was there ahead of him, and they should have gotten the out. Phillies lead 5-4. The infield comes in now, and here's the left-handed hitting Bryson Stott, and Baraki has not retired anybody yet. And here's a slider swung on and missed. Strike one. Runners at second and third, nobody out. 3 runs in. There's a bouncer past the mound toward the middle. Diving in front of second is Arias. He checks the runner at third. Harper was not running. And now he throws to first and gets the out. Nice play there by Luis Arias. Getting to the ball, then freezing the runner, and then getting the out. And with the right-handed hitting Adolis Garcia coming up, it is Tony Vitello out to the mound to make a pitching change. Caleb Killian, the right-hander, is going to come in. This is a spot. This is where the Giants are just trying to stay alive in this game. The Phillies with a great opportunity, not having just taken the lead, but threatening to open up a much bigger lead here in the late innings already.
Yeah, I mean, you figure the Giants have probably 2 at-bats to do something when you talk about Duran as the closer for the Phillies, one of the best in all of baseball with a 102-mile-an-hour fastball. So, yeah, it's huge to keep this a 5-4 game right now. I think that's an understatement. 5-4 is doable. 7-4 isn't.
And keep in mind here, Killian, there's only 1 out. And had the Phillies had the contact play on, I think Harper probably would have scored if he was running on contact. But with nobody out and the infield in, he was not. Because Arias had to go far to his right and kind of went into a slide to backhand the ball and then jump to his feet. And it would have been a long throw to the plate if he was going to get the guy, if he had been running.
Yeah, sometimes teams just don't like to do the contact play with nobody out. 1 out, they'll take more of a gamble, figuring you got a couple shots at it. But another nice play by Luis Arias. He's been spectacular at second base early in the season for the Giants.
And for Baraki, he got the 1 out. He faced 4 batters. including 3 left-handers. So that was the perfect inning based on his record of success against lefties. But he walked the first lefty and then gave up a base hit to the next lefty after falling behind him with a first pitch ball. So now Adolis Garcia will come up. He is flied out deep to right, grounded out to short, grounded out to third.
I mean, you don't have to throw him a strike here early in the count. Make something look like a strike because he's swinging.
And here it is. And a curve, a check swing for Garcia. But he restrained himself as that one dropped into the dirt. Ball 1. A left-handed hitter, Randy Marsh, is on deck, and he's been hot. 5-4 Phillies here in the 7th. Runners at second and third. 1 out. There's a fastball, and he powered it right by him on the outside. Impressively. And the count is 1-1. First pitch curveball that bounced in the dirt, taken. But that next one, he just blew right by him. 96-mile-an-hour fastball, about belt high on the outside corner. 1-1 pitch. Look out. That hit. Did it hit the bat? Here it sounded like it hit the bat. But the plate umpire now is pointing Garcia to first base. And the Phillies trainer comes out to see if Adolis Garcia is okay. It looked like, it sounded like it hit the knob of the bat. But he immediately reacted as if he'd been hit in the hand. And that, it didn't look like it got him on the small finger, the pinky finger on the left hand.
Yeah, no argument from Tony Vitello at all, so take your base. Well, it's bases loaded, 1 out. I guess it sets up the double play, so we'll see if we can get a ground ball right here.
The Phillies have the left-handed hitting Marsh coming up. Marsh, who has grounded out twice, and then he hit a single in the 6th inning. So for the 2nd day in a row in the late innings for the Giants, some problems in the bullpen. Phillies have 3 runs in, only 1 man out. 7 hitters have batted, only 1 has been retired. Now the stretch. Middle infield, double play depth. The pitch to Marsh, and the curve is low and in. 1 ball, no strikes. The Phils have Harper at third, Bohm at second, and Adolis Garcia at first. Shortstop, Adames shaded well toward the middle. Killian pitches, curve, low and inside. So he's thrown that pitch twice, and Marsh has calmly taken each one of them. 2-0. Big pitch. Here it is. Fastball hit high in the air into left center, medium. Now catching it on the run is Ramos. Here comes the throw to the plate. 1, 2, 3 bounces. Too late. Harper, who's still a fast runner, beats that throw home, and it is 6-4 Phillies. Bohm holding on at second and Garcia at first, but a sacrifice fly for Marsh. 4 runs have scored in the inning. 2 charged to the starting pitcher, Hauser, and 2 to the first reliever, Baraki. The runner at second also belongs to Baraki. The runner at first to Killian. So here's Real Muto, the 9th batter to come up in the inning. And he takes the ball inside. A sinker. Real Muto's had 2 hits. Philly